Right, thank you, everyone. Finally, we are finally going. Oh my goodness, that was the most stressful thing I think we have ever seen. Oh my god. Okay, and this is only just the first race, so this is going to be an absolutely enthralling 24 hours of F1, and that's not even in case anybody ends up lagging out of the lobby, which I really hope doesn't happen. But, uh, yeah, it's, this is just. Just a that's all I can say. It is so stressful, but we finally got everyone in. We kind of know what we may have to get sorted out. That everyone is that host is on PC, but finally we have gotten this going, and we're just waiting for someone just to pick their tires. I think Kazizzle, but after that we can finally get going. Yeah, so I don't even know where to start, Jess. I can't lie to you. I'm already lost for words of everything that's just happened within that, just within the first 35 minutes.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take you through the world cards for this event. I don't know if the drivers have changed since we last spoke. I'll do it quickly because the countdown's coming. Limpo's starting at the back of the grid. We got Humble Squad and Bottle Job Racing doing the double points, and we got VSR doing the 3 seconds off. So those are the wild cards for Mexico. 4.304 kilometers, 2.674 miles, and 36 laps. And I'll let you do this lap.
Right, so it's actually put me on board with FFD Nikosos, so we'll stick on board with the Haas driver. So let's have a look. Finally, we can get this one going for the 24 hours of F1. The first race, Cortez, of course, being disqualified because he is the team that is starting at the back of the grid. And at the moment, it is, of course, the challenge driver of Primoz Miklavčić on pole at the moment, but he is sort of dropping down a little bit. I said two drivers getting the double points awards of Blizzard and Kazizzle. Although I can't see Blizzard.
It's not Blizzard.
It's Nickel, sorry.
It's Nickel Blocks that's doing race one instead of race. This race, another race. They use one of their free swaps, which we may have more coming into this.
Yeah, no, we probably more than likely will have more, but yeah, we are going to hopefully get the lobbies done ASAP. Just hopefully we don't sort of mess it about too much, and hopefully there's not going to be too much going on with that. But enough about that. As I said, within the qualifier, we're just coming towards the end of the lap. I said Primoz is the one that is currently out on pole, because this is on second, Probone in third, Brendan fourth, and Nico in fifth. Is it going to change though as they make their way up towards the line? Because this is on pole, beating out Miklavčić by just under 300ths of a second. Probone is in third, 6/10 behind, by the way. And then Brendan in fourth, Nikosos in fifth. And then I'll let you take you through the grid because I am currently about to die.
I think we're just waiting for one driver to cross the line, I believe, and that's in the Alpine of Licks. So there we go. So he's came across the line, and because it's all that did a very good lap, to be fair as well. I've seen him in PSGL. He does quite well around there, so not surprised to see him up there. 2900ths, pretty close. I'll run through your order so whilst JCol is dying. We got Kazizzle in the Aston Martin in P1. I need to try and get used to what teams are in which cars. We will get used to it by the end. Miklavčić in second. I can't even pronounce it, in third. Brendan in fourth. Nikosos in fifth. Schlick in sixth / seventh. Chalkers eighth. Nickel Blocks ninth. 2D 10th. We got Strauss Energetics, California. Our teams are not that far behind each other in the grid. That's great to see. Yeah. Hooky, Christian, Charlie Harris. Good to see Alex up there, and the rest of the field that we didn't have time to go through, which we'll go through soon. But yeah, that's your grid for the Mexican Grand Prix. And one thing we forgot to mention, actually, 2-stop race. For all the races, I believe. So they have to make 2 stops. If they don't make 2 stops, their team's disqualified from that race.
That is true, yes. So it is a 2-stop race throughout the entirety of the event. Even in the wet race, it is all a 2-stop strategy. So hopefully they'll be able to follow that, and hopefully they'll remember that, because if they don't, then like you say, they will be disqualified for it. But yeah, I mean, as you were saying, our team's very sort of close in terms of that. Energetics just beating out California. Kazizel on pole up ahead of, as I said, one of the challengers drivers of Miklevchich. So this could be a bit of an interesting race up front. I mean, they were both 5 tenths ahead of everybody else. So to me, it's looking like it could be already just a 2-horse race at the front of the grid. I don't know. We'll see how this is going to pan out, because I mean, there's definitely going to be a few drivers within this, because every single team gets points. It's not going to be the case that it's going to be just top 10 or top 12 or top 15 points, anything like that. As long as you finish, as you say, you get points. So yeah, just try not to crash. It's on reduced damage. That doesn't mean go and dive bomb, but it's on reduced damage, so you should be able to at least have a good chance of finishing to at least get points for your team. There isn't really any sort of prizes, as I said, it is all for charity. So yeah, we're going to hopefully make this a good one now that we are managing to finally get this started. There is no safety car either, so even if people do crash out, there isn't going to be a safety car to cause any more delay with this going on. And I'm just looking at the tyres for each of the drivers, what they've decided to pick. There's a massive mix going on. I can see Lickle and Connor for NSX and for Bottle Job Racing both on the set of the hards, and then a lot of guys on the mediums, which is to be expected, and then a couple guys on the softs. Interestingly, our pole sitter, Probone, and Forza Brendan, Strauss, Hookie and Christian all on a set of the soft compound tyre. Everybody else on a set of the mediums to start off for the event. So, don't know, what do you reckon, Jess? Who do you reckon could take this one?
I think it's going to be close between the likes of Kazizel and Primos as well, but I think do not count out a few other drivers as well, like Chalk. George is quite fast as well from ERT. I know he does quite well as well. We've got a few of the Xbox guys at VSR who I know are pretty quick at the moment, so don't count them out, even though they had a bad qualifying, because to be honest, it's more suited to the race usually, some of those drivers. And Mexico is a track where the softs can last quite a bit of decent time. I think it lasts 11 laps. So if I was racing in that race, I would have also gone for the soft tyres, just get out of the way. And obviously they have more tyre flexibility now as well. So at least they could get their different tyre compounds out of the way, just in case they want to change their strategy last minute, just in case they get damaged or anything like that. I wouldn't be starting on the hards personally. So the ones starting on hards are brave, but if they make it work, then fair play, and obviously as long as they finish, they should score points. But someone from NXX has just left the lobby, by the way. That's not good. We'll hopefully try and get him in.
Very good start, but yeah, okay, so let's have a look and see how this is going to go down. As I said, we're going to be about to start the first of 22 races for the 24 Hours of F1 in 2022. I said if you want to donate, you're more than welcome to underneath the stream. But for the first time of 22, for the 5 red lights, for the 2022 installment, the lights are out and away to go. And Kazizel, what a bad start. And in fact, it looks as if Primos has got the warmest of tyres and everybody else had the coldest of tyres. So that might have to be something we have to fix very after this game, or after this race. But
probably formation lap off.
Yeah, probably formation lap off. We know that. That's duly noted. Didn't know that glitch was still in the game, because I thought they had actually fixed that. But Primos getting the best start, of course, with the warmest tyres. Probone actually managing to jump ahead of Kazizel. Shazilek almost getting the move done on Kazizel as well, but it is Primos out in front. Probone in second, and in fact Kazizel getting pressure from Shazilek as well as Nikosos as well, but managing to hold his own. Any sort of drivers changing down at the bottom. Cortez getting past Lickle as well as Energetics, and Benza as well. Benza getting up ahead of, or going from back of the grid all the way up into 15th position. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Energetics at the beginning there, but it doesn't look as if he has had the best of starts. Christian as well, almost trying to put a little bit of pressure onto 2D, just out in front of him. But yeah, it looks like a reasonably clean start so far, Jeff.
Yep, it does. I think Little Block's had a bad start as well. He's dropped down 9 places. Lick's dropped down 2. Obviously, Connor with that disconnect has dropped down 1. Charlie Harris has got down the inside of Strauss up to 11th place. So he's gained the most, as well as Christian as well. So they're having some battles up front as well. The soft tyres we would expect to go off around about lap 8, not lap 9 area, the crossover point. So watch out for the medium runners later on in this stint to be, I think, quicker, but obviously Primoz in P1 definitely having the advantage at the moment, unfair or not. He's still managing to keep ahead of the rest of the guys as well, and bearing in mind if they get disqualified from the formation, that their tyres will be cold unless they're the host, so not ideal. As someone was going down the inside into turn 2 there. We got Chalkers, Nikosos, we've got Slash in there as well. It's not Nikosos, he left the session again, so that's not good, but his AI is making amends as well as he's trying to go down the inside of Slash, but across that bridge one we get Toodie's up position past Christian up to 8th place. Bearing in mind for each of these races the pace ability is different throughout the field. We have some quicker drivers, we have some middle pace drivers, and we have some slow drivers, but the most important thing is they have some fun. If they're near the bat, as long as they have some battle, that's all good. Yellow flag. Speaking of fast drivers, one of them's had a bit of a spin down in the S's in the sector 2. That's not good.
Yeah, so Lecco not having a very good start. A little bit further down though, Charlie Harris and Christian both side by side. Slash having a spin out of the stadium section, and Charlie Harris getting passed by Christian. Strauss now also trying to put a bit of pressure on with him, but Charlie Harris trying to go for a bit of a switch back into the final corner. Got that move done, very nicely done for the Red Bull, for probably the best name in the event, good old Hasbullah's devoted disciples. So Charlie Harris now just making his way down in towards turn number 1. Strauss also trying to fight alongside with Christian for contest of speed, but not going to be able to get the move done. Strauss for Cone Racing League as well, both on the set of the soft tyres, Charlie Harris on the set of the mediums. So I wonder if that's going to already start to come into play as to what we're going to be seeing with each of the tyres that are going on within this at the moment. Also a little bit of a contact with Christian and Charlie Harris. But a little bit further up, I can see the two Williams of Forza Brennan and Shazulek, both sort of close to each other, as well as the two Alfa Romeos. And so that's in fact Hookie for Esports Wales out of turn number 5, I think that is, unfortunately having a bit of a spin. So very unfortunate for the Welshman.
Yeah, so he's dropped it down as well. Maybe he can get an early pit stop out of the way with the cheeky undercut potentially as well. And bearing in mind as well the teammates that you have on the game, they're not in the same team pretty much. So they have to work smart on what and guess really on when their sister compatriot would go into the pits. I think we haven't had much problems in the last event with that actually, but just bearing in mind you won't know what your the other person in that, say McLaren for example, if you're the likes of Rookie with Benza, you won't know what they would do. As meanwhile Nikosos has got past Strauss and California up to P10. We have another spinner and it's Christian. So the Ferraris are not doing very well here in Mexico so far. We got our first penalty of the day of Lick. So he's got a 3-second time penalty thus far. I think we have Chalkers trying to get past Tootie up for P6 with 2 Alfa Romeos fighting, squabbling. I think the top 8 are pretty close, I have to say, which I'm a bit surprised about, but I think it just shows how competitive this grid really is. No challenge for the lead yet, but DRS is activated right now, so they're able to use it within the 1 second window. So we'll try and potentially see some moves going down into turn 1 most likely as well. And good to see the AlphaTauri giving Primoz a run for his money.
Yeah, very nice to see that Primoz and Kazizel, to be fair as well. Both of them of course on a set of the soft compounded tyre, so they will still have probably the better tyre at this moment. But yeah, pretty much I think it's going to start to drive it away very, very soon. Brendan's sort of been dropped, so it is really just a race with the top 3 as Hookie, unfortunately, through the S section as well, having a bit of a spin. And there's a massive train that's going on. I know he's doing me very proud here, Mr. California 5. And in fact, I'm about to get passed by Slash. So yeah, keep on going, California. But because again, he's part of my team, so that's always nice to see. But yeah, up in P11, in fact, might even get passed by Strauss as well for P11. They're both side by side coming through turns number 2 and turn number 3. California now going to have to outside for turn 3, and a little bit of contact, but kept very nicely between each other and manages to hold the position. But he won't have any DRS, so he's trying to burn as much energy as he possibly can so he doesn't get dropped out of that one. Manages to stay up ahead, and a little bit further back as well. Connor and Cortez both going side by side with each other through turn 4 and turn 5, and Connor practically pushing Cortez well off the track. That was almost Freddie Rasmussen-esque of what we've just seen through turn number 5. Not sure what had happened with that one there, but I don't know if they just kind of got stuck together and that's just what happened, as Benza just having a little bit of a sniff on Strauss through the S section as well.
Sorry, I've muted my mic. Apologies. I thought I had it on mute for a second. I have to mute it quite a lot because I've got a bad cough at the moment due to I had COVID last week, but which is still lingering. But I'm okay now. As I was saying before I realised I was on mute, Strauss was going to get California for a bit, but he did start to fall away ever so slightly. But we can see Benza challenging the Aston Martin into turn 1 with the DRS. It did help Benza a little bit, but we're going to try and see Strauss go down the right-hand side of the turn 1, maybe. No, not quite. We'll keep an eye on Cazidle, actually, because he's catching up to the AlphaTauri driver as well. We got 2D as well, Partialet up into 5th place at the moment. Cazidle getting a bit skirmish at the start of the S section in Sector 2, so I wonder if his tyres is struggling a little bit. I wonder if the soft tyres are overheating a little bit, but Cazidle's ERS, he's on 44%, whereas quite a lot of the guys are starting to run out with the likes of Brendan and maybe 2D as well. So if I were them, maybe the 40%, 50% mark would be the best battery to be on at the end of the day, but we will see. But Cazidle, he's got to get past Probo now in order to get into 2nd place. Speaking of pit stop, we got our first pitter of Probo actually, so that gives Cazidle some free air to close in on the race leader. I wonder what tyre he's going to go on, the AlphaTauri driver, on the medium tyres. So he's committing early. I thought he would have pitted lap 8 or lap 9, but there he goes. That's his first stop out the way.
Yeah, so he's going relatively early. I'm for Probone though. He's going to come up behind this train that's being led by California, and in fact, I think he could be a bit of a sitting duck here because look how close everybody is now trying to close up in towards turn number 1. They're already 3 wide going in towards turn 1. Benza, Connor, California. Unfortunately for California, I think he's going to have to miss out on that one. He's tried to hold it up the inside though through turn 2, but not able to do so. And there's a bit of contact that's gone on behind. That is Cortez and Strauss through turn number 2, so both have it coming into contact with each other through there as well, and now dropping down the grid order down in 16th and 18th respectively. And in fact, Nick also trying to hold on, or trying to get that position done on Cortez, the Olimpo driver that started last. Had a decent start, but unfortunately that contact has just sort of put him now on the back foot down into 18th position. But yeah, I mean, as I said, Probo now making that first pit stop, come out 1.5 seconds behind California, and that whole train that was being led by California has now just kind of died off because of Benza and Connor getting past. The rest of it was Strauss and Cortez, and then Probo, he's not come out in a bad position as what I thought he would have done. I mean, I suppose if Strauss and Cortez didn't sort of bump with each other then through turn 2, then it would have been a little bit harder for Probo to try and go for any sort of move. But now that it's just California out in front of him, we might see a move go down for the NLR driver very, very soon. But Nico Sos looking like he might try and attack the ERT driver of Chalkers in for P7.
And by the way, massive shout out to ERT, by the way, for donating £200 before the event started to the 2 charities. So thank you very much to the guys at ERT for that. We will keep an eye on the donations as the event goes through. So I know quite a lot of us got paid recently, but if you're not paid yet and want to pay later, that's absolutely fine. But the links for those charities is in the panels on the Twitch site, or you can check it out on our Discord page as well, to donate to our 2 amazing charities. 2D's got a 3-second time penalty. That's not good, 2D, as he's trying to chase down Forza Brendan for 3rd place. I think the soft tyres are starting to die out now, because you can see the medium runners trying to close it in on the soft runners, and we got Primos up front, who's definitely pulling away from Cazidle. Cazidle is now in. I wonder if Brendan's going to follow suit. Yes, he is. So that's all the soft runners coming into the pits to make their first stops. So that just leaves the ones on the mediums and the hards that have stayed out for a little bit. No one has given up. Even Hookie is staying out despite being 20 seconds down the road, which is great to see that he's still going. As we got Nikosos, who's got past Chalkers, up to P5 in that Haas car. But yeah, he's in the session. He's back in the session, all good. So that is him up a position, and Render's going to go into a lot of traffic, it looks like, with the likes of Cortez, Lick and Little Block. So he's come out in a very bad position.
Yeah, he really has. He's come out, as you say, behind that massive group as well. So, yeah, it could definitely be put on the back foot. It's a little bit further behind Probone and Kazizel both side by side. Probone trying to hold it down the inside. A bit of contact between the pair of them. And even more contact going on. Kazizel was trying to fight for the race lead ahead of Miklevcic, but not able to get the move done on Probone. Probone, a little bit of a bump pass, I would admit, again, through turn number 5. But again, that's up for the stewards to decide if they, of course, do decide to report it after the race. But the Humble squad looking pretty decent so far, as well as the NLR. Probone not looking too bad, and that undercut for him has actually put him up ahead of Kazizel, so not a bad time whatsoever. And then there are 2 teams now going on it as well, Jess. Forest versus League of Europe, California versus Energetics, a little bit further behind as well. You've got Nickel and Cortez for Bottle Job and for Olimpo as well. So yeah, we'll see how this is going to fare on this battle here. I feel like Energetics might end up passing California on this straight, but we shall await and see. DRS is now going to be wide open for the Dutchman to see if he's able to go for the move down in towards turn number 1. Let's have a look. He's gaining on him. Is California going to be able to defend on this occasion? No, he's not. They're both still side by side, though, with each other. Is California going to be able to hold on? It looks as if he will just about hold on, but I'm also going to cut to this race going on for P4. Charlie Harris versus Nikos. Charlie going down the inside in towards turn 5 on the Haas and gets the move done. Nico now down into 5th position and now back under pressure from Charlie Harris. Back under pressure from Chulkers, just up behind him as well. So good battling going on all up and down the field. But again, I can see a massive train forming, and it's of course being led by California. Cortez has just got to try and catch up ever so slightly to the back of Energetics, but I can see another train forming very, very soon.
Yeah, I think we could see a lot of people when they come into the pits going that DRS train with how short this track is as well. And bearing in mind, we've got a few people that have got the 3 seconds off in this race. So we've got to keep an eye on those teams. The order that you will see at the end of the race may not be the order come, obviously, when those 3 seconds get taken off, so we've got to keep an eye on Tudi as well. It's not making much difference with him being in P2, to be honest, so that'll make things easier for the stewards who have to do all the calculating of the results. Meanwhile, Kazizel eventually gets past Probone up to 10th place, so him being on the fresher tyres has worked, but meanwhile our team's going at it once again. This time Energetics was able to get past California in the Mercedes, and now he's up to 12th place, but I think we will see those two squabbling for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, Cortez, who wants a piece of the pudding as well, heading towards turn 4. He's going to slip it down the inside. He almost was going to do a double overtake there, but not quite. I can definitely see Cortez being, I think, a lot quicker than the likes of California and Energetics, because he's already starting to close to the back of Energetics already. Now we've got Brendan in this as well, who's just pitted on fresher rubber, so I think Brendan can get past them as well. Brendan's got to dispatch a lot of these guys soon, because a lot of the front guys who still haven't pitted yet, they're going to have something to say as well. So if Brendan doesn't get past these guys, then he's going to be in a state of bother when most people have done their first stop.
Yeah, no, he certainly will be. He's just got to get past Cortez and Energetics with these two sort of going at it as well. It's just going to be a little bit of a hold up for Brendan. He needs to try and dispatch these two very quickly if he still wants a shot of probably a potential podium within this race. Also, just a little bit further on up in front for 4th and 5th, Nico has managed to get past Charlie Harris, so he is now up into 4th position. Charlie Harris now down into 5th, and there could also be another pass go down very, very soon, but let's have a look and see. Cortez going for the move on Energetics. Is Brendan going to try and follow suit? He's trying to hold it up the inside. Energetics has left the room on the outside. Brendan having a little bit of a twitch through turn 2 and through turn 3. A little bit of contact as well. And Brendan, I think, just he wants to try and dispatch him quickly, but I feel like he's trying to force it as quick as possible. Energetics trying to give him a little bit of a squeeze, but Brendan just breaking nice and late and making sure that position is his. Now up into 13th position. 1.2 seconds now behind Cortez. Cortez managed to dispatch of Energetics right nicely. Brendan now manages to get past him as well. So, yeah, now up into P13. Of course, one of the only ones that has still made his stop so far. Connor as well. I think his AI picked him on for the set of the hard compound tyres. So, we'll wait and see when the NSX driver is going to make his pit stop. Possibly could be going hard, soft tyres. So, we'll wait and see what the NSX driver is going to do. But Slash into the pits for Relentless.
Yeah, for Relentless, he comes in for his first stop, I believe. Yeah, it is his first stop. onto a set of medium tyres. So he's doing the opposite to what a few drivers have done, and probably will go the softs in the end. I did see someone else come in. Who's that? That's Cortez that's come in to the box. So he's going to probably do the same, or yeah, he's going on to the mediums as well. So we've got a few of the hard runners coming in to serve their stops early. That is a bit surprising. I would expect the medium runners to be coming in first, but they do have the flexibility in terms of strategy. Around about lap 16, I was expecting the medium runners to come in for their first stop potentially, but they may give or take a few more laps, maybe lap 13 maybe, to go on to another set of mediums and then go on to a set of soft potentially as well. But I know Primoz around this track is definitely wanting to try and use the overcut to his advantage and stay out as long as he can. He's got the gap anyway, so no matter what he does, I think he's just going to come out ahead of the likes of Tudi and Shalek and Nicole Sos as well. And but the danger is he's going to worry about the likes of Brendan, who could try and catch up with Kazizel as well. And speaking of pit stops, we've got Nicole Sos in the pits on to a set of the hards or the mediums. We'll see. I think it's the medium tyres. Yeah, it is medium tyres for the Haas driver.
Certainly is, and Connor just going and getting the move done on Chalkers, and a little bit further behind as well, because Zizzle also trying to follow suit. Kazizel not able to get the move done as of yet, but Chalkers won't have any sort of DRS, whereas Kazizel still will, as the detection point is just before the final corner. So Kazizel going to go down the inside into turn number 4, get the move done, up into 6th position now, goes to Aston Martin. Pretty much picking up a 3-second time penalty as well, so could play a little bit in the favour of, I was going to say could play in the favour of Kazizel, but it's not really because he also has a penalty. Could play in the favour of Probone though. The only other one that was sort of keeping up with Kazizel and Primoz as well throughout the whole stints as well. So yeah, this could be a bit interesting towards the end of the race. As I said, it is a... Oh, never mind, as I say that, first commentator's curse of the 24 hours. Probone picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's now null and void. And pretty much still going to be in the lead of this race. 13 seconds up ahead of Tudi. Still yet to make a pit stop as well, as that is a Ferrari spinning. That is QRT Christian's for contest of speed. So yeah, Christian now down into 17th from potentially 18th for Strauss. Thought was going to try and maybe up a move on him, but there's a lot more pit stops now happening. Connor, Benza, Charlie Harris, all three that was relatively close to each other as well. They are going to be, they're just coming in for their first set of stops now, as Chalker's also getting passed by Probone for P number 5.
Yeah, on the fresher rubber, of course, so I would expect ERT to come into the box soon for another set of the medium tyres. We have a few donations that came in whilst we were waiting for the lobby to start. We have Colin Mason from Esports Wales that's donated £10 to Brain Tumour Research charity. We've got Dragon on Speed that donated £5 to British Heart Foundation. They're saying up the CRL lads, let's go for some of the IRT and REL drivers. And we've got Liz and Neil Hook that's rooted for Hookie, and they donated £30 plus £7.50 gifted to British Heart Foundation. So thank you very much. If you donate between now and the end of the 24 hours, you may get a decent shout out from one of the commentators in this event. So yeah, keep donating. We're on £434 for British Heart Foundation and £109 for Brain Tumour Research. So yeah, make sure you donate. And I think we saw James Head donate about 5 hours ago. So thank you, James. He's also going to be commentating a little bit later on.
Yeah, no, certainly will. So let's have a look. Let's see who else is now making some more pistols. We've got 2D and we've got Shazulek as well, or Shazlek. I don't know how you pronounce his name, so I apologise. But both making their way into the pits. 2D's actually going on a set of the soft compounder tyre for VSR. So this could play a bit of an interesting strategy. I don't know if he's going to try and take those 10 laps, taking them another 10 laps. I know you could do that in 2021, but I don't think you could do that in 2022. So yeah, he might be going for another set of the mediums as the final stint. But from the looks of things, a lot of guys are going to opt to go for, I think it's a set of softs towards the end of the stint rather than the middle stint, as I think that was Licks just going around in the stadium section from the looks of things. So very unfortunate for the driver for, I believe it's IRT he is. So yeah, pretty much now actually coming into the pits for his first stop for QVR. We'll see what he's going to be going on. It looks like it's another set of the medium tyres. It is, so he is going for a set of the softs for the end of the or for his final stop as well. Charlie Harris very close to the back of Shazlek. Of course, he did just make a pit stop, whereas Charlie Harris pit on the lap before. So going for a bit of an undercut, and he is actually onto the back of the Williams. Coming through the stadium section now, is he going to be able to go for any sort of movers? And in fact, interestingly enough, Kazizel made an early stop, and he is, he's now up into the lead of this race. So Kazizel, Primos and Probone, it's definitely game on between those three.
I'm a bit shocked because I thought the overcut would work, but it just showed that the undercut has worked better. But we'll see. I think Primos with the fresher tyres may be closing very soon, but the gap is quite close anyway. It will take quite a while for the tyres to warm up around this circuit. So I think that Primos is going to be a bit more of a challenge because it's all in the next few laps or so. It doesn't take as long to warm up compared to what the hard's done. And meanwhile, Tudi has got past Brendan up into P5, but he does have a 3 second. Technically, he has no penalties because he's got the 3 seconds reduction wild card. So even though he's got 3 seconds on the screen, now he's got 6. So that is my commentator's curse of the stream. So that's 2. No, we're not doing very well, Jack, are we?
No, we're not. No, we are not. So yeah, that's already 2 curses in the space of 1 race. I can't wait to see how many we're actually going to have throughout the 24 hours. But yeah, so unfortunately, Tooney's now actually got a 3 second time penalty. So at least one of those 3 seconds will have to stick. Brendan will definitely get the jump on him, but I don't think Nico will get the jump on Tooney as well. But in fact, saying that, Tooney setting the fastest lap of the race. There isn't going to be any extra point for fastest lap because we can't be asked to calculate that. So it is just going to be the case of how the points are going to work. As I said, it is everybody in this race will get points as long as you do classify as finished. If you don't, then you won't get points. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think that's the case usually. Sometimes many points can make or break a difference in between winning this 24-hour or losing it, to be honest, and maybe getting the winning spoon. Meanwhile, I think I saw just Slash get past Cortez a moment ago, and he's right on the back of Benza now, so we could see an interesting fight between those guys as well. I think it's going to a bit of a quieter moment for some of these guys as they find their feet a little bit into their second stint on these tyres, as we got another penalty, this time from Energetics, down in 17th position. So it looks like the guys around could jump if California gains about 0.2 of a second. But I think we can see Primos now trying to close in on our race leader. It's Kazizel versus Primos. QVR versus, I can't remember what team Kazizel is on, but as Primos gets a jump on the Aston Martin driver up into P1 with the DRS. 2D has got past Brendan up to 4th. Oh yeah, Chalkers has come in. Okay, so George is in for ERT. I believe I'm just trying to check if it's his first or second stop. It's his first stop. Okay, so everyone has done at least 1 stop now. No one has done 2 stops yet. But yeah, everyone has done at least 1 stop now.
Yeah, no, everyone has done that 1 stop, so that's all good to see. Just waiting for, well, I should say, it's a little bit of a lull period at the moment. There's still a couple of battles that are going on though. Connor, Shazlek and Charlie Harris all sort of still close with each other. Despite Connor obviously lagging out at the start of the race and not joining probably for about a lap. It's up into 9th, so it's not too bad of what we've seen so far from him. Started down in 19th as well, so yeah, Connor having a pretty decent race so far as well. Yeah, I think there's going to be some interesting things that are going to be going on with the rest of this race. There's been a bit of a spinner. That is, in fact, Forza Brendan through the stadium section for CSL. And unfortunately for Brendan, he's now down in 10th position. I don't know if he hit the wall, but he was running a decently run race. I think he was in 4th. Well, sorry, he's in 5th, I think, sorry, because I think Nicholson was the one that got past him. So he's sitting, behind him, sorry. So he was in 5th, and unfortunately now down into 10th position and now going to be challenged by Slash, who, as you say, only just gotten past Chalkers because Chalkers did make a pit stop as well. But yeah, very unfortunate to see what's going on with that. We'll see how this is going to go for the rest of this race, but it looks as if Kazizel's just completely dropped off of Primos, and Primos is just looking quite dominant at the moment.
Well, he is a challenger driver for a reason, isn't he? He's quick, and he's on the PC as well, and he may enter for the challengers next season as well. So he is a force to be reckoned with, and I think that's good news for QBR. They've got a fast drive on their hands. It's good to always have a fast driver to start off the 24 hours, in my opinion, just to get the ball rolling and to boost the confidence levels up a little bit. Yellow flag. Is that Liz? That was Liz, I think, going a bit slow. As Hooky now gets past, tries to get past Lick up to P19. Battle of the Wooden Spoon so far is between Esports Wales and the other Alpine car. Speaking of Alpine, so that's Energetics past Strauss up to P16, but Strauss will be ahead of Energetics so far due to Strauss picking up no time penalties to his name so far. To be honest, I would have been on 6 seconds by now if I was racing, so I don't know how people are on 0 at the moment, but we got some battles happening at the background with Connor and Schleck, it looks like. NXX Connor, and then we got Schleck in the Williams, but it looks like it's going to be an easy move for Connor. Yes, it is. Connor gets past Schleck up to 7th place, and he's now going to chase down Charlie Harris for 6th position as well. I wonder what the team captains will be thinking about their drivers as they're on the track at the moment. Some of them are probably racing at the moment, but yeah, the team captains will be watching, keeping a beeper eye on all these drivers to see how well their team. Oh, has Charlie Harris had a bit of a squirm heading near turn 7. Oh, they make a bit of contact, careful. As I think Schleck has got past both of them, and he says thank you very much. I think that will definitely be investigated by the stewards.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks as if it more than likely will be investigated through that as well. So, yeah, let's just have a look and see what else is going on with that. Charlie Harris, in fact, passing Shizlek as well. I don't know if Shizlek overtook him off track and just let him through there, or if just DRS passed and didn't manage to just quite catch that. But Charlie Harris looks like he could be in a bit of trouble with Shizlek and Connor, and even potentially Benza just behind him as they're making their way onto the DRS straight now. Let's have a look and see how this is going to go down. Is it going to be Shizlek going to be able to catch up to the back of Charlie Harris? I don't think he's going to be close enough to go ahead with that. So, yeah, it could be Charlie Harris managed to actually get away quite a bit on the straight. I was really surprised about that, to be honest with you. But yeah, manages to hold on to that position. Connor now trying to go for the move on Shizlek through turn 3, on the exit of turn 3, shall I say. Looked like he had a much better run in comparison to the Williams alongside him. But Shizlek trying to hold it down the inside through turn 4 and through turn number 5 as well. The Haas, I think, managing just to get the move done. And now Benza, as I said, he's trying to join in on the action, just all up behind the back of these two drivers, but not going to be able to get any sort of move done. Benza just holding it on the back at the moment, just trying to play a little bit smarter. He has got a 3-second time penalty. Connor doesn't. Neither does the other Haas of Nikosos. Brendan, Cortez, Lickle, Strauss and California, the only ones without any sort of penalties. And Shizlek now losing out another position to Benza, going around the outside in towards the stadium section. So Benza now up into 8th, Shizlek now down into 9th. And again, we're going to see another battle emerge between Connor versus Charlie Harris. Just who's going to get the better exit out on the final corner. Just keep on board with this battle going on here, as I think Connor, in fact, actually having a bit of a worse straight line speed in comparison to Charlie Harris, because he's just darting it down in the straight. Even with DRS, Connor just can't seem to catch up.
Yeah, he can't. I think he's struggling on those tyres, and Brendan and Nickelblocks are the first two to get their 2 stops out of the way. So Brendan on the set of the mediums, I'm expecting the Ferrari drivers to do the same. Yes, they do. There's no way the softs can make it. So that's their 2 stops done and dusted. They don't need to worry about it again. Connor does get past Charlie Harris, as you were saying just now, with them having a battle. But can Charlie Harris get the switch back into turn 7? No, he cannot, as California is ahead of the Ferrari driver now after making his first stop. But he'll be behind when he makes his second stop, as Slash, speaking of Slash, gets a time penalty to his name. I think this is a track like I think Kota as well, where there's going to be a lot of time penalties that could make or break, I think, a driver's race. And maybe some people would have thought to use the 3 seconds here rather than in the other tracks, but we'll see, we'll see. Hookie's also done his second stop. He is just pitted. And who else has just boxed? I'm just trying to see who else has done there to stop. Not many, so it's just a few guys at the back that have stopped. I think we just saw a yellow flag for someone spinning, but yeah, that is an update so far. Charlie Harris, he's back around the back of Connor. Connor closed the door. Ben's on the back of this as well. This could be a nice fight between turn 4, 5, and 6. I think that's where we see the main battles around this track. So we'll see what Benza can do as they head towards this this straight. Shalek as well, a little bit further behind right now. Charlie Harris could get the better on here. Some people usually go wide, and that's where they start to gain a little bit of time. As no moves from Charlie Harris at the moment. They stay put. So maybe next to that, Charlie Harris could get Connor, but Connor's starting to break free now.
Yeah, no, he certainly is starting to break free. So I think, yeah, Connor's just looking a little bit more comfortable on those medium compound tyre at the moment. Nickel also trying to challenge California, coming in towards, I believe that is going in towards turn number 4. Is he going to be able to get the move done for P15? He's looking to try and go down the inside. He is going to go and send it down the inside. The Ferrari gets the move done up into P15. California now down into P16. Yeah, as I said, for Bottle Job Racing, unfortunate with that little, I don't know if he made contact earlier, but yeah, he's now down, of course, in 15th position. I know that he is definitely a lot more capable of that, but of a higher position. But I think I also saw someone in the 24 hours chat say earlier that I think it's the first time he's touched this game in probably about a month or two. So that probably explains it why. But he's down in 15th position. However, still not a bad feat. I said any sort of point or any place is a point anyway. So as long as you do just finish, then that's the main thing as well. But the main part of this is to do with charity. Oh my goodness, what I've just seen. Charlie Harris tried sending it up the inside of Connor. It was never going to work. I don't know why he has done that, because he has just absolutely sent Connor around. Connor's now down into 9th position. That was a very audacious and bad move from Charlie Harris, and I had the feeling that our stewards is definitely going to be put in after this race from that. But yeah, very bad move from Charlie Harris. Quite unfortunate for him, because he's running a decent race so far. Now down into 9th position, and Benzer's now all over the back of the Red Bull.
Yeah, that was, I think, quite tight there from Charlie Harris as well. I think a few drivers and teams will be, I think, gutted about that, about what just happened. But we got our another pit stop, the first of the leaders actually, a Probone who's gone in for a set of the medium tyres. I think Primos obviously starting on the mediums. He'll have to wait for a few laps, lap 27, 28 to come in, I think, for a set of the soft tyres. Nicole Sauce, I think, will do exactly the same. We've got more stops, I think, in the background. Connor's coming in. Well, he had no other choice to go in, really. I don't think he's got damage. No, he doesn't have damage. All good. He's also on a set of the medium compact tyres. That should get to the end of the race as well. Bearing in mind, we are slightly delayed with the lobby. We will try and get the next lobby sorted as soon as we can after this one. So don't worry, you haven't missed a second race. It just hasn't happened yet due to the cross-play issues that meant we had to start the first lobby half an hour late.
Yeah, as I said, we're trying to hopefully get this all sorted out ASAP, and hopefully try and get this run as smoothly as possible as well. I suppose that's what we get for trying to use the abilities of what Codemasters has given us with all of that as well, and hopefully we can get crossplay to work properly as well. California has just passed Energetics. I've just seen him go very slow through turn 3. Must have had a bit of a spin going through there, as there's also yellow flags through here as well. I think that is Hookie through the stadium section once again, unfortunately being lapped for Esports Wales, now down in 20th position. Chalker's yet another 3-second time penalty for him as well. 2D, of course, has the 3 seconds reduction, but at the moment it's really just sort of null and void, and he's just going to have 3 seconds added already. As saying that, Cortez spinning out of the final corner. The Olimpo driver, I think, now being forced to make a pit stop as Probone and Slash changing positions. Probone now up into 7th position. We saw what the undercut could do with Kazizel against Miklevcic, but Kazizel, in fact, actually, I've just realised Kazizel's also made his pit stop as well. So let's have a look and see who has made their multiple stops now. So Kazizel, Probone, 2D, Forza Brendan, Connor, Lickle, Cortez, who's just come in, Christian, Strauss, and Hookie have all made their 2 stops. So the top 2 still got to make their second stop, which I'm assuming they'll probably do within the next couple of laps. Benza, Charlie Harris, Shazlek, Slash, Chalkers, who else? California, Energetics, and Licks all still yet to make their second stops. So we'll see how this is going to go down. See if they are going to be able to make their second stop very, very soon. I said if they don't, they will be disqualified.
Yeah, so hopefully people remember. Luckily, I'm in leagues where 2 stops are mandatory anyway, so a lot of these drivers will be used to it. But penalties, I think a few people in the chat are saying, can we see penalties? We'll talk about that in a minute as Shalek has come in for his second stop. So another person to add to the 2-stop club. What tyres has he gone on to? That's softs for him, so he comes in for softs. So we've got Miklicic, who is on 3 seconds, because he's on 3 seconds. Ben's at 3 seconds. Charlie Harris, 6 seconds. Probone 3 seconds. Lash 6 seconds. 2D technically 3 seconds, because you have 3 seconds deducted for his wild card. Gillette 3 seconds. Connor 3 seconds. Chalkers 9 seconds, who's was in a battle just then. Nickel Blocks 3 seconds. Energetics 3 seconds. Christian 9 seconds. Strauss 3 seconds. Lick 6 seconds. And Hookie is on 12 seconds. Apparently he keeps getting screen freezes every time he goes through the S's section. Hence, probably the reason why he's got this many penalties.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right with that. So very unfortunate for Hookie as well. And saying that, yeah, there you go. There's another 3 second time penalty for him as well. So it's sad to see, but there's not much that we can do regarding that either. So it is just very sad to see with that. Yeah, let's see who else is making their way into the pit stop. So Nicholas is coming in. Charlie Harris is also coming in for his second stop. Who else needs to still come in? In fact, it looks like there's something that's going down. Connor versus Shazlek for P10. Connor, obviously, after having that little bit of contact with Charlie Harris, Shazlek just sort of made to just be left out hanging to dry. Connor going around the outside of the stadium section. Very lovely move from the NSX driver. Now up into P10, but Shazlek is going to have the benefit of the DRS twice, but I don't think it's going to be enough to jump up ahead of Connor. Whereas Charlie Harris coming out in comparison, though, he's only 1 second up the road, but he is on a fresher set of the soft compound tyre. I feel like Miklevcic will probably play it within the next 1 or 2 laps, and we'll see if that overcut to go on a set of the soft compound tyre is going to be enough for Miklevcic to jump up ahead of the likes of Kazizel and Probone, because Probone's in fact actually 9 seconds behind Kazizel, so it's really a 2-horse race now. Miklevcic versus Kazizel.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, isn't it? We'll see when obviously Primoz makes his final stop where he's going to end up in relation to Kazizel. I do have the pit lane loss around it. It's 20.5 seconds. So Kazizel needs to gain 2 seconds on Primoz in the next few laps before Primoz makes his final stop for Kazizel to go ahead of the Mercedes. If he doesn't gain that, Primoz will come out in first place. So he's already a pit stop ahead of Kazizel and he's still yet to make a stop. But we got Nicole Sauce who's just come in, Benzo as well. I think a few people just gone past in our shot as well. They've just made their 2 stops as well. Nice to see a mixture of strategies here today as well. Not everyone's on the same strat, which is great to see. I think if it was on 1 stop, I think everyone would have done the same. Yellow flag. That is an AlphaTauri, and that is the P last man of Cortez.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Cortez. Again, at that final corner, I think that's the second time spinning within the past 5 laps from when he made that pit stop as well. So, yeah, Portuguese driver just needs to try and... it's his second time making that mistake, so hopefully he's now going to learn within the final 6 laps of doing that and won't make that mistake again. Miklevcic now finally into the pits. Now, where is Kazizel going to come out in relation to where Miklevcic is? He is just coming out of his box now. In fact, just coming out of the pits now. Kazizel is on the home straight. Let's have a look and see. You can see him up the road on Kazizel's point of view. And I think Miklevcic has done exactly what he needed to do to make sure he is out ahead of Kazizel. Of course, he will have a little bit of tyre warming to do, but on those softs, they'll be heated up very quickly anyway. So, yeah, very unfortunate for Kazizel, but Miklevcic has played an absolute blinder with that. Probably will be able to get the fastest lap as well, so Miklevcic is going for the full house with that one. Other than, of course, Kazizel putting it on pole with for the first race of the 24 hours of F1. I said if you guys want to donate, you're more than welcome to do so. The link is in the bottom of the link is underneath the stream. If you was to click on one of the two logos of either the British Heart Foundation or Brain Tumor Research, then it will just take you straight to the donation page, and you're more than welcome to donate through there as well. I said we are.
We've had a few donations come in.
Yeah, we have. I was just about to say we have got a few more donations that have come in. So thanks to everybody that has donated to the cause of this as well. I think to everybody that has tuned in so far to the stream, I can see we are currently sitting on 94 viewers, so hopefully we can try and get a few more going just a little bit later on. I know it is still in the middle of the day at the moment, so hopefully we can get a lot more going on. And as I said, hopefully we can get this whole crossplay issue running a bit more smoothly in comparison to what we had for this first race, because it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I think we have had some issues, which we are planning to improve on in future rounds from round 2 onwards. But Ben's just got past Charlie Harris up to 7th place, and I think Charlie Harris could fight him back here at the moment with his 33% ERS. As poor Bonus got another 3-second time penalty that can make a huge effect in this race. As Charlie Harris, even before turn 1, managed to get past there. As well. I think is Hooky. Is it Hooky lapped? Yeah, it is Hooky that's lapped. Okay, that explains why the McLaren car is ghosted, because I think ghosting is on. Someone just asked a question in the chat. Is there a rule this year on the earliest lap you can pit? I think end of lap 1, isn't it? Is it end of lap 1 onwards they can pit?
Essentially, yeah. There's not really any early time. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as you do the 2 stops, then that's the main thing that matters. So, yeah, just make sure that the 2 stops are getting done. Pretty much, I said, I'm not surprised, setting the fastest lap of the race so far, and more than likely will be the fastest lap of the first race of the event. Doing QVR proud. I'm sure the QVR drivers are going to be very happy to see that they are out on top with that.
They're not on double points though.
No, they're not doing double points. That's the only problem. They aren't doing the double points. It is actually going to be the Humble Squad. Yeah, Humble Squad will be the ones actually out on top. But I'm sure Mick Pevchich will be happy that he's managed to finish or finish at the top anyway for this. So yeah, a lot of more battles still to go down from the looks of things. Brendan looks like he's going to be put under pressure from Charlie Harris going down in towards turn number 1. The Irishman, I think, is going to be under a significant amount of pressure. Not in this lap, but possibly in the next lap. Although saying that, Charlie Harris might be trying to eye up a move potentially in towards turn 4. I don't think he's going to be close enough to getting anything done. So yeah, Brendan he's going to be safe for now. However, I do think within the next lap, he could be a bit of a sick duck to Charlie, to Benza, potentially even Connor as well, and Shislek. So they're all trying to sort of follow suit with that. So yeah, at the moment though, he is just going to be able to hold on, go through the S section. There's not going to be any moves done unless Brendan makes a mistake, but yeah, there's not going to be any sort of moves that go down with that as well. Only 3 more laps left to go as well. Pretty much still doing a very good job, just leading it out in the front of the race as well. Kazizel in 2nd, Probone in 3rd, 2Ds in 4th. Chalker's going around through the S section. Lickle just getting past him as well for P12. So don't know what happened with Chalker's there. Just saw there was a yellow flag very briefly. Don't know if he just made a mistake or what, but well, must have done if it was a yellow flag that was caused. Charlie Harris trying to see if he can go for a move on Brendan, but I think he actually has to consider the car behind him rather than the car in front of him, because he is getting closed up on by Benza just behind him. When I'm saying that, he has got so much more straight line speed in comparison to the guys behind him, and I feel like Charlie Harris might be under a bit more under pressure, because going through that chicane, it looked very twitchy for him. Benza's now alongside him. The QRT driver is going to try and hold it down the inside in towards turn 4. He'll have the outside for turn 5, and I think Charlie Harris is just going to be able to hold on to that position for now. Benza trying to go around the outside of turn number 5 and not going to be able to get the move done. It's now going to invite Connor to try and go for a move on Benza now, and I think Benza just sort of slots back up in front of Connor. Connor probably getting a little bit frustrated now because he knows what he could have done just like contacted him and Charlie Harris and said, I feel like there's going to be a stewards report after this race. If you're here for race number 2, it hasn't started yet. We can only apologise because we did end up starting the first race half an hour later than what we should have done, just due to a few of the issues that are at hand, as Ben's just having a little bit of a lag spike from what I've just seen, and back almost towards into Connor, as there's been another spinner. That is Chalkers once again through through the S section, and Cortez, going past him now.
Yeah, so from last, I have to say Cortez is not doing too bad, but I'm sure he would have wanted to be higher. Meanwhile, Chilek and Connor going side by side into turn number 1. Connor covers the inside in towards 2. He cuts the apex a little bit for good measure, which was good to use at this part of the track. We got Charlie Harris and Brendan fighting in the background as well. I don't think Chilek is going to get past Connor by any stretch of the imagination, so I think Ben's is now in his train for P6, which is very exciting. Brendan's going to be ahead anyway because he has 0 seconds of penalties, so he's not going to gain that much though from the rest of the field, because I think the only one that's more than 9 seconds in the top 12 is no one. I think the 9-second start from Chalkers downwards really. So yeah, Brendan's only going to pretty much stay in P6 unless other people have a bit of a calamity at the moment. We are on the final lap of this race as Primos goes through turn 3 for the final time, and I think Kazil's team will be quite happy that they use their double points this race.
Yeah, no, definitely very happy, and especially the fact that they're sitting in second position. They will go to the top of the standings with their double points within this race. So yeah, it was very nice to see the humble squad. They probably won't be so humble to say that they're at the top very soon, but yeah, very interesting as Brendan and Charlie Harris now going at it, as Hookie has retired from the session. In fact, actually now quite completely crashed out. But here we go. This battle now, I said it's on the final lap, and Charlie Harris is really trying to go for it. He's trying to go down the inside here towards turn number 4. Brendan versus Charlie Harris. Benzel's also trying to follow suit. Brendan's going to have the inside for turn 5, but Charlie Harris just sort of pushes him out and now up into 6th position. Benzel's now also going to try and follow suit, as well as Connor. Benzel's going very wide going out of turn number 7, as Primoz has managed to take the first race of the event and does take the win. Kazizl in second. Probone will finish in third in the end, from the looks of things anyway. 2D will finish in 4th. Despite, of course, having that 3-second time penalty, the 3-second deduction, he will still get jumped by Nikosos. Of course, he hasn't got any penalties to his name, and that's a very good feat from Nikosos as well. But yeah, he jumps up ahead of 2D. 2D will finish in 5th in the end. Charlie Harris will be in 6th, but Brendan with no penalties, he will end up jumping up ahead of Charlie Harris. And in fact, Charlie Harris jumping down a significant amount of positions because of the amount of penalties that he picked up. Benzel will finish 7th, Connor 8th, Shizlek in 9th, Charlie Harris 10th, Slash in 11th, Lickle will finish in 12th, Chalkers will finish 13th on track, but it looks like he'll be jumped by Cortez, so Cortez will be the one that finishes in 13th. It looks as if Chalkers will finish in 14th. It looks like Chris will finish in 15th, Strauss 16th, California 17th, Energetics 18th, Licks in 19th, and Hookie, I think he'll still count because it was on the final lap he crashed, so I think it will still technically count because he's done 90% of the race anyway. I think to do 90% of the race, if I'm mistaken, I'm just trying to do my math here, it would have been, if you retired from lap 33 onwards, you would have been fine, I think. Yeah.
But again, it's up to the stewards, so...
Indeed, to say the least. So yeah, very well done from Primoz for taking the first race of the 24 hours, and Sekazizl, very well done for second position, and Probone in third. And just grab a quick screenshot of the results so we can just fill them in as we're sort of changing through the lobbies. Nikosos was 4th, 2D in 5th, Brendan 6th, Benz in 7th, Connor in 8th, Shizlek in 9th, Charlie Harris in 10th, Slash in 11th, Lyrical Blocks in 12th, Cortez 13th, Chalkers 14th, Christian in 15th, Strauss 16th, California 17th, NGX 18th, Licks in 19th, and Hookie. He did actually get classified by the game as well, so technically I suppose with finishing 90%, he does finish in 20th. And picks up at least 1 point for Esports Wales, so very nicely done for him. And yeah, hopefully we could try and get round 2 sorted out ASAP.
Who is the round 2 host? Someone was asking.
It's gonna have to be someone on PC. So I'm trying to get that sorted out right now.
I think if Chalkers, if you're listening, can you help?
Yeah, I feel like it might have to be Chalkers. Yeah, hopefully we can
Or
get
someone
him.
from Elliot's team, because I think Elliot's team is all PC.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
SF1L are all PC, so it might even have to be SF1L that do the invites for everyone. I'll speak to all those guys right now. What we'll do is we're just going to go to...
Ash is PC as well, so Ash is going to be hosting, I think, Monaco and Hungary later on.
No, of course. So, but yeah, that race, Jess, what did you reckon of that? It was a pretty good race.
Good race to start off the event, especially towards our front guys as well. Very exciting. No big issues really in terms of the stability of our lobby. I think there was a few lag spikes here and there, but looking forward to seeing if anyone could beat the Humble squad and QBR at the moment, because that is what it's like. It's looking at the moment, so yeah, should be interesting. I think they have been told to invite their teammates, so.
Yeah.
If you just raced in this lobby, invite your teammate. If your teammate's not in the lobby, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that left that should have stayed to invite their teammate, but yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. We tried it sort of this way. I think it was in one of the 24 hours, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was a bit dodgy at times, but hopefully we can get all of that working as well. But what we're going to do is just going to cut it over to just a quick break whilst we get everything all sorted out. And whilst, we're trying to also recover from our deaths at the moment. So, yeah, we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Hopefully, we won't take as long as what we did last year. Last race. And, yeah, we'll be back very, very shortly. Right, we are back, and that was a lot quicker than what it was before. Thank goodness for that. Still half an hour later, but hopefully we should be, or hopefully by the time this race is done, and a couple more races are done, we should be back on track and get it all going as well. So thank you to everybody that has, of course, tuned in as well, and thank you to everybody that has been patient with us. It's been, as I said, very sort of stressful. I am still with Jess. It is still the both of us at this moment. So as I said, just thank you to everybody that has been very sort of patient with us as well. Yeah, I think this could be a bit of an interesting race for USA. Yeah, I mean,
think it was a wet race last season.
Yeah, it was. The last 24 hours, it's definitely a wet race. I remember that very well.
Yeah, me too, because I was watching it.
Okay.
The person we're on board with was Montana, but we completely forgot that he's the team in NXX starting at the back of the grid.
So, right, let's go on board. You know what? I'm going to go on board with our buddy Blizzard. Why not? Because he's currently sitting on pole at the moment, and see how he's going to get on for the second race of 22 for the 24 hours of F1. So, yeah, as I said, Montana is the one that is starting last for NSX for this race. Any other sort of wildcards going into this race? I don't think there is any others, to be honest with you.
No, there's no wild cards. The next wild card is in race 3, so the only one is Montana starting last.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so, I'll let you just take us through the rest of the lap with Blizzard. I just need to quickly sort something, but yeah, the rest of the lap.
I knew you were going to say that, so I've come prepared as he heads towards 10, 11 and 12. That the sun is bearing quite bright at the moment in Kota, of course. First using Formula 1 back in 2012. Past the long right-hander, heading towards turn 15 and 16, where we see quite a few overtakes. And we saw a free four-way battle for the lead in F1 esports as well. Heading towards 10, turn 17, it reminds me of Istanbul in Turkey, that circuit, which should be back in Formula 1 personally. Heading towards the final few corners. Let's see what Blizzard can do. Can he keep the car on pole? Yes, he does, with a 132.6. It is QBR that are in P2 and NLR in P3. Quite a few invalidations, as I'm not really too surprised, to be honest, obviously, apart from Montana, who's starting last, but he probably won't be starting last due to quite a lot of invalidations. But there we go. So I'll run through your order. So we got Blizzard in P1, Nathan P2 for QBR, Russell in third, Daniel in 4th, Brendan 5th, Finn in 6th, Slash in 7th, Ben's at 8th, Tiramismo in 9th, Zach in 10th, Harry in 11th, Stroll 12th, Benjamin for Esports Wales in 13th, Foxy Red 14th, California, who's still bowling strong, in 15th, Montana is not starting last, actually. Oh, game, what are you doing, mate? Then we got Dart Sled, Neon Chalkers in Montana. So that's your order for today's United States Grand Prix. And Blizzard usually races on PC now, but for this event, he's racing on PlayStation for this event, just so you're wondering. Fair enough. I thought he would have raced on PC due to the frame rate being better, but no, he wants to race on PlayStation. Fair enough.
I suppose why not? There's no harm in doing that, I suppose. So why not go ahead with that? Right. Okay. So there's a few people just asking in the chat, what's the weather settings going to be? It's just every race is dry weather until Portimao, where it'll be the wet weather, which makes that a bit more interesting as well. Yeah, I think I'm hoping with a couple of the changes that we've done, we've turned off the formation lap so that there is no tyre advantage for the host. We thought that was fixed months ago. Turns out we were wrong.
It's fixed for non-crossplay, but for crossplay it just doesn't work.
Can't say I'm surprised. To be honest with you. But yes, so we've turned off the formation lap. We are also just getting it so that one team is going to be hosting all of the races throughout the event, all on PC.
From round 4.
Yeah, from round 4. I'll be hosting the next one anyway because I am racing in the next one, so I'll be host of the next one. But after that, it will just be everyone from round 4 onwards will be guys that will race on for SF1L in PC. So we have now got the 3, the 4, and the 5 red lights for race number 2 of race number 2 2022. The lights are out, and away we go. Apologies for that. Very good start from Eleanor Russell, already going up past Blizzard and already alongside QVR Nathan holding it down the inside in towards turn number 1. Russell manages to slip past Blizzard. Little bit of a spinner at the back, that is Benza and VSR Finn. Very unfortunate for them, as Benjamin also looking like he's had a bit of a spin. Both of the McLarens not having a very good start. Already top 5 completely broken away. Slash now in 6th, Harenwag in 7th. I don't know what has gone on towards the back end of that, but it just looks like there's been an absolute calamity.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? But that is, I think, the beauty of USA, unfortunately. I think Finn was the biggest loser with 10 places, as well as Jax and Zach as well. Benza's dropped quite a bit as well. But Dark has gained the most down in 8th position for Ecos, so Ecos will be happy. ERT will be happy because they gained 9 places. Montana's up 3. I'm trying to see who else has gained quite a bit. Harry is gained 4 places, so that's good news for my team. We picked Harry for this event, this track, because he likes this track and he's good at it, and he's good at it at the moment, touch wood. But Nathan leads for QVR, just like what QVR did in the first race, so they're continuing strong despite the fact that Primos was on PC and Nathan's on PS. But I thought it was just going to be a one-man show, but no, QVR are strong overall, which is great to see.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. Nathan already, as you say, taking charge as well. Out into lead of this race. Russell's in 2nd, Blizzard in 3rd. Triple D Daniel, is what I'm going to call him. I'm not going to try and go Daniel, but Triple D Daniel in 4th, Brendan 5th, Slash 6th, Harry Mark in 7th, Dark in 8th, Stroll 9th, Foxy Red rounding out the top 10. Only a couple soft throws. Benjamin, Zach, Harry Mark, sorry. Excuse me, and Dark. So, yeah, they're going to try and go a little bit earlier and try and go a bit more on the aggression throughout the earlier stages of this race. See if it plays out for them.
Yeah, I think it's just patience around this track. I think some people are still getting used to the fact that it's not raining around this track, but it's always a fun track to commentate when it's not raining. As Montana gets past Sieb up into 12th position, I think the new pad goat, I will have to say, at the moment, using quite a bit of his battery to now try and get past the cars in front as well. No DRS activated, remember, until lap 3, as VSR Finn has got past IRT Sieb up into 13th position. IRT being the one in the Alpine and Visual Esports being the one in the Alfa Romeo. As Finn's going to try and get past another driver of Montana. He's trying to leave the space, but Montana's going to overtake 2 cars in 1, and he gets past Finners and Foxy Red. So Montana's up to 11th already. And he's already up 5 places from his starting position, so he's doing very well. Sieb's up to 13th place, heading down the inside into turn 15 and 16, past Foxy Red. I'm just trying to see if anyone else at the background's trying to get past as well. Equals Dark is looking good once again, trying to get past the Alpine of Harry from Mallory, but DOF will be activated, so I think down the back straight later you can try and go for it. He could try and go for into turn 1, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, no, as you say, I don't think there's going to be any sort of moves going down at the moment.
Commentator's curse.
Oh.
Darkest fun.
Very unfortunate indeed for the contest of speed guys as well. They didn't exactly have the best of starts for race 1, and it just looks like it's sort of continuing that way for race number 2. Benza all over the back of Ecos Dark as well. I don't think he's going to be able to get any sort of move done at the moment, and I don't know if Dark has picked up any damage or if those tyres are just that hot on those softs. There is a very high possibility that is the case, but looking at it, it's just a tiny little bit of contact between Benza and Dark. Benza in fact just sort of jittering around ever so slightly. I don't know if that's just on his end or if that's actually a lobby kind of thing, because I've seen a couple of people complaining about the lobby at the moment just being a little bit laggy, and hopefully, as I said, going forward it would be sorted out with all of that. But Montana already up into 9th position from starting last.
Not surprised, to be honest, not surprised that he's gained quite a few positions in this many laps, and I think he could be the ones that could do the last to first challenge. I think the way this is going is Dark trying to recover from his poor start. He's had a moment with Benza in turn 16. That will probably be investigated by the stewards, it looks like. He's got Turismo in the background as well. Benza trying to go down the right-hand side, or a little bit of a touch. Again, they're getting a bit feisty at the moment, heading towards the final few corners. Let's hope they can keep it clean for the rest of the races, my friend, as well. Montana's 2.6 seconds behind Stroll, so he's not going to close in just yet. The lead is still lapping about 5/10 of a lap quicker than Russell, so that could be an interesting fight going into the rest of this one. Remember, guys, 2 stop. Oh, there's a spinner. That is, that's Dark. That's had a spin in the background. So Ecos, who started well, unfortunately, not doing very well right now. Don't forget, the drivers will have to do 2 stops. They can pit from whenever lap they want, ready for the end of lap 1. If they don't do their 2 stops, they will be disqualified. And no safety car either. And the weather is clear, unless it's Portugal, and Portugal's the only wet race, for those of you that are new to the 24 hours.
Yeah, so I think there's just a bit of contact that happened between, I think it was Tiramisu and Tiramisu and Dark. Dark has now got half a front wing, so he is basically already going to be towards the back end of the grid, as he already is as well. Zach not picking it off where he's not exactly had a good start compared to what Kazizel had for the Humble squad. They were the ones that are out on top. I wonder if the Humble squad are going to be very humble to Zach after this race, being down in dead last by about 5 seconds as well. So it could be a bit of an interesting one. But at the moment, Daniel just setting the fastest lap of the race so far in P4 for the Haas driver as well. Not a bad look so far. Nathan just doing a very nice job holding up ahead of Russell. And I know these two have raced each other in quite a few team events, whether that be for QVR, whether that be for Relentless, or whether that be for XL for Nathan and Russell. I think he's pretty much raced against him in all 3 of those teams, with Russell just sort of remaining in NLR. But Blizzard just sort of keeping up to the back of the both of them so far. Stroll getting past Harenwag as well. So I think we're going to start to see those soft compounder tyre die off more and more now that we're already on lap number 5 of 28. I think Harenwag is going to start to struggle because Montana is now all over the back of him and already going for the move on him.
Yep, it looks like it, as Montana doing the trademark move that he likes to do through turn 9 and 10 there at the moment. So he's up into 8th place already, and I'm sure almost certain that Montana's going to get past Stroll as well. He's getting like 2 or 3 seconds a lap. That is just absolutely insane from the pad go. I have to race him later on tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that, because he's going to probably lap me like 2 times, I think. Well, I won't be that surprised if he does that. But yeah, he's got past another driver. very soon. I would say lap 7, he's going to get past Slash. I'm almost certain of that. Finn gets past the other Alpha Romeo up into 10th place. So he's in the top 10 at the moment. As long as you finish, by the way, you do score points. It's only if you do not finish after the 90% rule. If you're not classified in game, you don't get points for your team. As saying that, Chalkers has had a spin. Final corner. He's down to 30. He's going to have the SF1L guys chasing him down. By the way, thanks to the SF1L guys for saving our bacons this event so far. In particular, their team captain Elliot. So thank you to those guys for saving us at the moment. I think they're going to be our saviours, I think, for the rest of this event. But at the moment, they're not doing as well down in 14th, are they?
No, unfortunately not. I'll tell you what, though, there's someone else in the chat that was also saying that 2 other drivers aren't particularly doing well. Funnily enough, Red Bull Racing Esports asking Slash and Foxy to pick up the pace in 6th and in 12th. Slash not doing too bad of a job so far in 6th, but trying to pressure the back of the Williams of 4th of Brendan. Foxy Red, I suppose you're right, could do with picking up the pace a little bit for those guys for Red Bull. But yeah, Blizzard just making the pass on Russell for P2. Blizzard now up into 2nd position, trying to chase down Nathan. Nathan getting the 1 second gap up ahead of Matthew Arda in 2nd position, as said, in the Ferrari. Daniel and Russell doing a very nice job just sort of keeping up with these guys as well. We wanted to try, and the reason why we did it for crossplay as well, because a lot of people were asking within the Discord and on Twitter as well, because we even put out a poll asking. We want to try and be as inclusive as possible with everyone in the event. We know that we've always had it on just PlayStation. When obviously the time came around for it to be crossplay, and we know that it isn't in the best of states at this moment, but we wanted to try, as I said, and make it as inclusive as possible with everybody. So that's the reason why we have decided to still go ahead with it as crossplay and not just have it as PlayStation only. And so far, I mean, the racing's been pretty good. Obviously, problems with the lobbies, you're going to get that even with it just being on just PlayStation. But yeah, as I said, anything like that can happen. We hopefully will still be able to run that throughout the rest of the event. But yeah, I mean, as I said, that's what we're here for. We're mainly here for charity. We are, you know, as I said, it's not going to be the case where taking it seriously like it's an actual racing
league race. Yeah,
like a league race, that kind of thing. It is all for charity. That's what we're doing this for. So to everyone that's getting annoyed because of the delays, I can't tell. I don't know what else I can tell you. The fact that it's for charity and you're getting annoyed at a charity event. So there's nothing else I can really say. Red Bull Racing Esports is going to be quite happy. Slash has managed to make the pass on Brendan for P5. I think I wonder if Slash has actually been told by the relentless drivers that Red Bull Racing Esports are trying to cheer him on. So that's probably why he's now picked up the pace a little bit. He's now up into 5th position. He's got the top 4 just up in front by about 3.5 seconds. And of course, with Russell picking up a penalty as well, if you can get within 3 seconds of him, you'll be able to at least jump up ahead of him, but potentially fight for a podium with the rest of the guys if they also pick up penalties. A couple of people have also made their stops. Zach and Haranwag, who started on the set of the soft tyres, they have already made their first stops. And Haranwag trying to make a bit of an undercut on Benjamin for Esports Wales. See how that plays out. Probably could make a bit of an undercut on the rest of the guys out in front as well.
Yep, he could do as well. I've got some notes down somewhere, if I can find them, of the pit stop lost time. Actually, no, I don't. I do not have that time. I do know how long the soft can last. 9 laps, by the way. But the cutover point, I think, is about 6 laps. So, yeah. As a Welsh Benjamin, speaking of Esports Wales, he is into the pits, and he's going to go on to set the mediums, it looks like, as well. And let's also see which team can donate the most out of this 24 hours. At the moment it's ER2, but can anyone beat ER2? We don't know. I think we had that competition last year. I don't think we have it this year, unfortunately. But as Blizzard, by the way, is going to challenge for the lead in towards turn 12. But Nathan closed the door. Daniel gets past Russell up into P3, so he's fighting for the podium positions. Bearing in mind, there's no double points this race. There's no 3 seconds off reductions in this race as well. Just the person who was starting last, which was Montana. So they're all actually fighting for position here, unless you're Russell or Stroll, who have got that 3-second time penalty. Speaking of the undercut, Harry got the undercut perfectly, as he's now ahead of Welsh Benjamin now. So he is in 16th position as well. So we'll see how this affects the rest of the drivers on the grid as well that are still yet to make their stops. But of the remaining drivers on the medium tyres. But Montana, saying that, he's in as well. Early stop this is, so is he potentially going for hards?
There is a chance, or he could be doing another set of could be doing a set of softs to go for another set of mediums towards the end. It is a bit of an early stop, you are right though, so we'll see how this is going to pan out. It could pan out very well, or it could pan out quite badly. But knowing Montana, we know what he's been like, not just in League of Europe, but in other events as well. He has spent a lot of hours on this game. And I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that because he knows he's spent a lot of hours on this game. And if he's quite proud of it, then I suppose that's entirely up to him with that as well. Yeah, as I said, he spent quite a lot of hours on this game, so he knows what he's doing. I don't think he really needs us to tell him what to do. But I'll tell you what is going to be going down is Blizzard go for this move on Nathan before even reaching the end of the straight as well for the DRS, and it gets the move done. Matthew Arder now up into the lead of the race. Nathan now down into second. Brendan getting the move back done on Slash. The Red Bull Racing Esports guys aren't going to be too happy with that one, but yeah, now up into fifth place goes the Irishman of Forza Brendan. Slash now down into sixth. A little bit of battle going on between CRL Stroll and VSR Finn, the Xbox driver versus the PlayStation driver. Cone Racing League versus VSR. Finn are holding on, but Stroll going for a switchback on Finn. Both still side by side through the triple right-hander as well. Is he going to be able to hold on VSR versus Cone Racing League? Stroll, I think, is going to have the inside for the penultimate corner and maintains that position. Very nicely done. Finn, though, going to try and dive it up the inside in towards the final corner. Stroll has to give up that position, and Finn manages to also pick up the DRS from that as well. So that's I think that's an extra advantage from Finn. Very nicely done from him. I didn't see DRS actually get open from him, interestingly enough, but yeah, very nicely done from him. In the end, manages to get that position as Russell, one of the leaders, firstly making it into the pits.
Yeah, so he's another driver that's got their first stops done and dusted nice and early. They don't have to worry about safety cars, of course, because those are turned off. So he can worry about he's got clear air as well, 2.9 seconds, so he can try and push on to make that undercut work. So to be honest, him making the stop now, it was expected. So I wonder if the likes of Blizzard and Nathan will follow suit at the moment. Blizzard is pulling away a little bit from QBR at the moment, so that is good news for Matthew Alder, who usually races on PC, but like we said, he's racing on PlayStation for this race. This is not the only race that we're racing at around USA. We got Miami a little bit later on as well. We're in the Americas, I think, continent for the first lot of races. It's nice how the calendars group together, actually. So we're in obviously the USA region, and obviously Brazil for the first half of the 24 hours. And also we got Asia, Australia, China, Singapore, and then we got Europe for most of it, and then we got the Middle East towards the end of it, which is quite nice as well. Miami's round 5, by the way, which is around, I can't remember what time. So looking forward to seeing how the drivers do there. As Stroll comes into the pits, trying to do the undercut on Finn, it looks like.
Yeah, so they were still both going at it with each other as well, and Neon also coming in the pits for SF1L. Him and Tiramisu were having a pretty good battle as well, going through that final sector of the lap. But at the moment, Blizzard's still just holding on up ahead of Nathan. Nathan not really losing touch from Blizzard, despite being passed a couple of laps ago. Nathan's still doing a very good job of holding on to the DRS, and same with Mr. Triple D Daniel behind him in the Haas. Brendan has dropped off, as I said, from those top 4, with, of course, Russell making an earlier pit stop. He is, in fact, now just behind Foxy Red, and hopes that he doesn't get held up by him whatsoever, because otherwise it's then going to cost him a bit more of a detriment from those guys at the front, or those front 3 that have just completely pulled away from everybody else. At the moment, no, Russell still just doing a nice job. He's all over the back of Foxy Red, and I feel like we're going to see a pass go down very, very soon. F1 Esports. Red Bull Esports, you might want to look away. Your sister team is overtaking the main team. Foxy Red, unfortunately, now dropping down into 8th. Russell now up into 7th. Foxy Red trying to put up a little bit of a fight, see if he can maybe go back down the inside, but I don't think Foxy Red's going to be able to do that one. Fortunately, the Brit's just going to have to sit behind Russell for now. And now up into 7th position. However, Russell does have a 3-second time penalty to his name. So he's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage come towards the end of the race as Nathan and Triple D Daniel both make their pit stop.
Yeah, we're also making their pit stops. A massive shout out to the recent donators. We've got Glowstick F1 and we've got Free4 that's donated. NXX Unseen, who's donated for NXX Mads. Great cause, keep up the brilliant work. And the one who just raced, Primoz Miklevich, who's donated 25 euros. So thank you to him. That's all for the British Heart Foundation and Brain Tumour Research. We've got Free4 donating for that as well. So thank you to those guys. And don't forget, if you want to donate, links are in on the Twitch panels. That will take you straight to the donation page. And yeah, thank you very much so far. £480. Let's get British Heart Foundation to £500. Let's get Brain Tumour to 200, shall we? By the end of this race, it could happen. But we got more people making their first stops. We got ERT making their first stop. We got California making their first stop for JCol's team, and I think that's it so far. It's just, I think, the top 2, I believe, yet to make their first stop.
Yeah, so Nathan and Triple D Daniel both pit. They are actually managed to get 1 second up ahead of Russell. So Russell must have been held up quite a bit by a few of the drivers when making his way through. A little bit further behind though, again, I'll just keep on board with it. Slash now going back past Forza Brendan. Both of those guys have been sort of going at it throughout the entirety of the race so far. And Slash now back up ahead of the Irishman that he was fighting with again. Probably make the Red Bull Racing Esports just a little bit happier that they're seeing their car in the game going past the Williams. So that's always nice to see. Blizzard now finally making his first pit stop of 2. We'll see where he puts that in relation to Nathan and in relation to Daniel. Russell went for the undercut and it didn't really work. So these two going for the undercut, and is it going to work in comparison? VSR Finn's also made his way into the pits. You can see Blizzard just coming out of the pits now. Is he going to be up ahead, or is he going to be side by side with Nathan going down here towards turn 1? Blizzard done the smart thing and parked it on the apex. Nathan now side by side with Blizzard going through turn number 2. A little bit of contact between the pair of them. Nathan almost sort of getting shoved off the track, and now Triple D Daniel also trying to follow Nathan and maybe even try and go for a move on him. That was a little bit argy-bargy, but I suppose it was more or less fair with Blizzard being a full car up ahead anyway of Nathan. Nathan was just trying to find anywhere possible he could go past, but unfortunately couldn't find a way through. Hopefully he didn't damage his wing in the process of any of that, because otherwise that would just take him out of contention for this race win. But Blizzard now manages to hold on to this race win. It's now brought Russell back within it, as there was someone that just picked up a 3-second time penalty. I believe that was Mr. CRL Stroll down in P8 in the soft compounded tyre. He's made his first stop, and now we're going to see it go down. Is Nathan going to go for this move on Blizzard now down towards the end of the DRS straight? No, he is not. Triple D Daniel also looking to see if he can go for a move on Nathan, but not able to go for any sort of move either. Russell really struggling to keep up with him in the straight line. Don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, very interesting racing going so far. As I say that, Nathan shoving, going for the dive on Blizzard through towards the beginning of sector 3, and now they're side by side going through the triple right-hander. Daniel also trying to get involved in this one now. They're almost 3 wide going through the triple rights, side by side through the penultimate corner. Nathan going to hold it down the inside. They are now basically going 3 wide in towards the final corner. Nathan has managed to get the race lead. Daniel goes past Blizzard. They're both still side by side. Russell also trying to see if he can maybe go for any sort of move. Nathan going defensive in towards turn number 1. Daniel going to try and go around the outside in towards turn 1 as well. Nathan shuts the door, solidifies himself for that first position. What a battle that was going on, and this is only the second race of 22 for this event, and those top 4 are absolutely going at it.
They're still going as well, I have to say. The top 4 running away with it, and look who's also come into the fray. Montana's in that train as well, so we got a 5-way battle for the lead. Very soon. We just had another spinner. I'm not sure who that was. I think that was near the back, so it might have been Dark or Benjamin, not entirely sure who, but IRT have got their car in for their second stop, I believe. So, or was it their first stop? I don't know, but they're coming in anyway. From the soft tyres onto a set of the medium compounded tyres, so they come out there as well, and they're still going at it. Daniel has got the lead from Nathan into the left, into turn 12 there, so from Hamburger, Daniel is leading the United States Grand Prix. QBR in second, and then we got Blizzard in third, but can Nathan get either of them into turn 15 and 16. Nope, he can't. Blizzard in that as well. All of this is allowing the guys behind to also close in as well. So these guys got to get a move on. But Daniel, I have to say, that was very, very impressive from him. He's improved a lot since I last commentated on him, not going to lie. And great to see him up there in P1, doing the PC guys proud and doing his team quite proud as well. In the Haas car, remember that the Haas car got pole in Brazil in real life, by the way. So the Haas team must be smiling in the garages right now, as Nathan could get in pretty soon. This is going to be very exciting.
All of this battling going on as well. It's allowing Montana to join the fray. He's only 1.5 seconds behind these top 4, despite starting towards the back of the field for his wild card for this race as well. So yeah, Montana's doing a very good job, and he is now, as I said, he's basically within this battle for the top 5. So what was a 4-horse race is now turned into a 5-horse race, and the Swissman, he wanted to try and get at least a race win from starting at the back, because that would probably be the best possible thing that he could get throughout this event. DRS now wide open for these top 4. Don't think we're going to see any moves go down. It looks as if they're all relatively low on battery, other than Blizzard. He's still on roughly around 30%, whereas everybody else, other than Daniel as well, Daniel's still on quite a healthy amount of ERS to play with. And same with Montana. All reasonably decent amount of ERS, as Brendan and Slash now trade positions once again. Despite obviously making their first stops now as well, they're still trading positions left, right and centre with each other. But yeah, at the moment, Daniel still just on the race lead. Nathan second, Blizzard in third, Russell in fourth, Montana in fifth. Just shy of DRS as well, who may be able to just claw into DRS very, very soon. Brendan's in 6th, Slash is in 7th, Stroll in 8th, Finn in 9th, Foxy Red round out the top 10. Benzo's in 11th, Tiramisu in 12th, Neon 13th, Chilka's in 14th, Harrenwag in 15th, T1K Zach in 16th, California in 17th, Dark in 18th, Benjamin in 19th, and Seeb at the very back of the grid. But again, if you finish, you get a point. So there's no point in retiring, because you will still get points anyway for your team. And any point can matter. We saw this last year, that a couple of teams were beaten out only just by like 1 or 2 points. Had they not have retired from the session, they would have beaten them, beaten those other teams.
Yeah, it does make a difference, doesn't it? I did say this earlier on as well. I think one of the Alfa Romeos, I think, had a bit of a spin. Stroll just came out. He's, I think, the second driver to make his second stop. So where is he going to come out? He's got a bit of traffic in front of him, so not ideal for the CRL man in P12. As George is now coming into the pits now for his second stop onto a set of the medium compounded tyres. So we'll see if that works out for the rest of the race as well. What will the others do later on remains to be seen. There's a little bit of locking wheels between all 4 drivers as well. Montana not quite within DRS range yet, but give or take a lap or 2, it won't be that long before we do so. Before they do so as well. 1.2 now. It's gonna. Oh, Montana had a bit of a moment there in turn 16, so he lost a chunk of time. Not a lot of time. I think he lost about a 10th, which for him is nothing, but for us is quite a little amount to lose it by at the moment. Now I think Montana did the right thing there. Due to that mistake, he's gone into the pits for his final stop to try and get the undercut on these guys. And if that works, he could be on to win this race.
Didn't Montana start on a set of the mediums though? So is he going for a set of the softs right now then?
Or the hards?
He's going for hards. Going for hards to the end of the race. Okay, so Montana making his final stop. 11 laps left to go, and he's gone for a set of the hard compounded tyres. So this is going to be a bit interesting. Is he going to be able to get the jump on the rest of those guys out in front? Only 7 laps on those mediums. It does surprise me that it was such a little amount of laps on those medium compounded tyre. I know that they can go maybe about 10 or 11 laps. Maybe even a little bit further than that. Sometimes you can get a push at around sort of 12 or 13, but yeah, they do last around sort of 10 to 11 laps. So it's quite surprising to me that he's coming for a set of hards. I mean, if he's more comfortable with it, why not? If it's not broken, don't try and fix it. So yeah, I reckon this could be a bit of an interesting strategy. Could be a bit of a good strategy, but we're gonna see a good battle go down now. Yeah, here we go.
That is quite close. Banging wheels again. Nathan almost got past Blizz into turn 12, but Nathan, I think, just tried to fight back even more, but not to the delight of the QBR team, unfortunately, because he's still behind Blizzard. The amount of time they're going to lose, by the way, this will help the ones that completed their 2 stops. So if I was Nathan, I want to get past Blizzard ASAP, or do your stop out of the way anyway. Quite a lot of people, by the way, started on those mediums and are doing double medium stints. So they will have to stretch, I think, and towards the end, near the end of this race, where they can go on softs. I think from around about lap 21, 22, I have to say, can get in there very, very soon as well. But that 18 to 28, we've got 11 laps to go of this United States Grand Prix, and I believe the next race after this is Canada. So we're heading across the pond, I think, very soon. But for now, Daniel's still leading, Blizzard in second, Nathan in third. Where's Montana at the moment? He's 6 seconds behind Finn. How is he behind the leader? 21 seconds. Is that going to be enough for him to leapfrog the guys that are battling for the lead?
Very well could do. Very well could do. Blizzard, I've just seen, has had to use all of his ERS just to get within DRS of Daniel. So Daniel's doing a very nice job at the moment as well. But unfortunately for him, Blizzard just managed to get within DRS. Oh no, he didn't get within DRS, sorry. So, yeah, no, Blizzard, no DRS for him. Nathan did manage to get DRS, but just got dropped in a straight line. Blizzard must have had DRS, because it showed up that he had, and then it just disappeared. So I would have thought he would have had DRS from that. Top 4 still within a second of each other at least. Brendan Slash still both going at it. The Williams versus the Red Bull. So very good battling going on between those guys as well. Yeah, as I said, a lot of other battles also going on. We haven't been able to sort of catch it because we've been watching that top 4 for pretty much the entirety of the race so far. Benza getting the move done on Foxy Red. Now up into 9th position goes the McLaren. Again, I don't think Red Bull Racing Esports are going to be very happy seeing that one, but Foxy Red now down into 10th. He's still got one more pit stop left to make. Stroll, I think, has made both of his pit stops now as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's one of the first ones that have made both his stops, and same with Montana. So he's not too far off the road from a potential top 5 finish. I'll say that though, because Montana's really the one that's sitting 5th, so he's a little bit further back from Montana, but he's not even that bad of a shout for getting at least 6th or even 7th, challenging for that kind of position as well.
Yeah, and that will be good for the Aston Martin driver who wants to do well and being involved in some good battles. Oh, George is spun again. He's not liking this track, is he? Meanwhile, Stroll got past Foxy Red once again, but Foxy Red's going to try and get back in the section which was designed with Silverstone, Maggots and Beckett's complex in the way. Looks quite similar as well. Also kind of reminds me of Japan as well. Has a similar vibe. Meanwhile, Neon has got past Benza up to 12th place at the moment. So a lot of moves being made in the final stages. Like we said earlier, 2 stops they have to make. Most people haven't done it yet, but there are some people that have that could make or break this race. We'll see what the leaders are doing. I don't think Blizzard is catching up to Daniel, so I wonder if Blizzard's tyres are starting to give up the ghost in terms of temperature at the moment. Is Blizzard going to come in? No, they're going to stay out a bit longer for those set up the soft tyres. Montana's now 21 seconds behind the leader. So a lot of work to do for Montana, I think, but anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. I'm seeing anyone else in front of him is making their final stops. No, but if I was Foxy, I would box now, because you're stuck in this train. You're going to lose so much time just being in this battle. So if I were you, I would... unless you obviously started on the mediums, then you're pretty much screwed. But if you haven't started on mediums, if I were you, I would pit again.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And we'll see if Foxy is going to make a pit stop. He's still staying out at the moment. I think a lot of the guys might actually end up pitting on this lap or the next lap, or even on lap 22, to go for a set of the soft compound tyre. Just certainly so that they can take those softs, as I say, to the end of the race. At the moment, though, it's Triple D Daniel still leading the race at this moment. Blizzard, though, is now within 1 second of Daniel, and I think we're going to see a nice little battle going down between these two guys. Both racing, I think, in PSGO F1, if I'm not mistaken, or even on PC, I think PSGO F3 again, if I'm not mistaken. But
they're in PSGL, but none of these drivers are in PSF1 at least. I don't think.
Yeah.
I should know because I commentate on them.
Fair enough. Nathan is sitting in third. He's sort of teetering on the edge of DRS of those top two. I think he's managed to get it on this occasion. Russell was sort of teetering on the edge of DRS with Nathan, but unfortunately he's not able to anymore. So now it is just up to Nathan to see if he is able to try and keep within the 1 second of those top two guys in front of him. At the moment, as I say, Nathan doing a nice job just sort of keeping up with those guys, Blizzard and Daniel. Very nice driving from the both of them. No one did make any sort of pit stops so far. Let's go to Foxy Red and Tiramisu, see if they are able, or see if they are going to be making any sort of pit stop. Stroll, as I said, has already made his second stop, so he doesn't need to. Nobody else has actually come in for a second stop as of yet. What the two but going on behind, Neon and Benza. Again, no stops from them at the moment either. So yeah, they're all just going to be holding on, and as I said, I think lap 22, I think they will go for a set of the soft compound tyre to take it to the end of the race. Yeah, there's going to be some interesting things going down, I think, and we've currently just hit 100 viewers, so thank you to everybody that has tuned in.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's tuned in, thank you to everyone that's donated. If you haven't donated the cause, we're raising money for British Heart Foundation and Brain Tumour Research. The links to those is in the description. I'm sure a lot of us will talk about why it's so important we're doing this event this year, especially with what's been going on in the community at the moment, with some members of our community unfortunately losing their lives due to cancer, which is such a shame. But we're doing it for them, and I'm sure Montana wants to do it for them as well. As Nathan is in the box for his final stop, I'm sure it's going to be soft tyres. Russell is in as well, so I'm guessing he followed him in. Brendan is in as well for his team. Slash into Finn. Has Finn made his stop yet? No, he hasn't. I wonder if Finn's going to do exactly the same. But our main protagonists done their 2 stops already. We'll see what the top 3 can do.
We shall await and see. Daniel and Blizzard are probably going to be in at the end of this lap anyway. Just see if Nathan's going to be able to get the undercut on them. Going on a set of softs for an undercut, you would think Nathan would come out in front, but I have seen different circumstances come about this before, so I don't know. This could be a bit interesting. Montana has gotten a jump on Russell though. That's the thing we need to keep our eye out for. If Russell's going to be able to catch back up to Montana.
Yeah, so I think that pit stop that Montana made, I think was quite crucial, I think, to him getting ahead of Russell. So, yeah, even on those hard tyres. But don't forget, the soft tyres are incredibly fast compared to the hard. So, obviously, Russell is going to do all he can to close in on Montana. It's around a 1.5 second gap delta-wise. But the softs don't last as long as the hards. So, Montana, I think, could fight back towards the end of the race. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two fight for those positions at the moment. Bearing in mind, Russell does have a 3-second time penalty. I think he might have more. Daniel is in... No, he's not in. Blizzard is in, sorry, into the box. So he's going on a set of the soft tyres. So who hasn't done their stops yet? I will keep an eye on. So the ones that done their 2 stops are Nathan, Blizzard, Montana, Russell, Brendan, Slash, Stroll, Turismo, Neon, Harry, Sieb, Dark, Zach, Chalkers, and Benjamin. Finn has also made his 2nd stop. Nathan has got past Blizzard up into 2nd place into turn number 1 now. So Nathan is now going to chase down Daniel, because Daniel's done his hasn't done his 2 stop yet. But I believe that's 2 more drivers that haven't done their 2 stops, because we got Foxy Red and Benza are just now coming to the box as well.
Yeah, so Daniel's still just got to make his 2 stops, and we're used to seeing Nathan go up ahead of Blizzard. I think we could be seeing Nathan get the jump on Daniel, which is going to make that a bit more interesting, because then Daniel's now going to have to try and fight back with Blizzard. And also has Montana starting to catch up to the back of him as well. I was saying that Russell is actually caught up to the back of Montana, and could be putting a bit of pressure to the Swiss driver for NSX very, very soon. So, I don't know, this could be a bit interesting. At the moment, Blizzard, though, he's doing nicely, just keeping up with Nathan, despite obviously only just coming out of the pits fought those soft tyres. I think they're all nice and warmed up now for him, so he now can just start going on the attack. Foxy Red picking up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles as well. As yeah, Daniel now finally into the pits. We'll see where he's going to come out in relation to Nathan, to Blizzard, and in fact I think we may even need to keep our eye out and see where he comes out in relation to Montana and Russell, because I feel like he might be might even be a couple seconds adrift from these top two. Just where he's going to come out in relation to.
Nathan could get the lead here. Nathan has got the lead of the race now. That overcut has not worked for Daniel whatsoever. He's just got ahead of Russell. So Daniel is now from the lead. He's dropped 2 places and he's now to 3rd. So with Nathan and Blizzard pitting just a few laps earlier, that has definitely helped those 2 guys. But for Hamburger, he's going to need a miracle, but he will be on the fresher grit tyres that they will get to the end quite comfortably. So it's still not over for them. The top 3, no penalties either as well. So that is good as well. Russell manages to get ahead of Montana, so he's now going to try and catch up onto this fight too. But yeah, at the moment, everyone's going to score points, but we'll see Blizzard now get the lead into turn this back straight, this DRS straight as well. He does have the DRS, little ERS though, so Blizzard managed to get through without plenty of ERS, so that was great to see. So the DRS, I think, worked wonders there. Nathan, though, he's going to try and cut back on Blizzard into turn 15 and 16. He's seen that Blizzard has lost out on ERS, so he could have took advantage there, but he may wait until the start-finish straight to get the move done. But yeah, Blizzard at the moment, your race leader with Nathan in 2nd. Could this all change with the tyres that could start to die very soon, or will it stay as it is? I hope we get to see a last lap fight.
I feel like we will. I feel like we can't be given, we can't not be given a last lap fight going on here. Blizzard, Nathan, and Daniel, they're all been keeping each other at check at the moment. It's just who's going to come out and claim checkmate throughout all 3 of these guys. Still a little bit further on behind. Brendan and Slash still both close together. Slash is the one that is up ahead of the Irishman. Brendan, at least I said these 2 have just been so evenly matched throughout in this race. Montana as well. His hards, I think, are now starting to come into their own because he's not been dropped by Russell. Despite being caught very quickly by him, he's not been dropped by him. So yeah, I think these hard tyres are going to start forming into that own. Maybe within the last 2 laps, I think we're really going to start to see where Montana's going to start thriving on those hards. But at the moment, he's just going to play fiddle and just sit behind Russell for the time being. Foxy Red, Tiramisu, both going to go at it as well. Tiramisu going to try and go down the inside of Foxy Red in towards turn number 1. A bit of contact between the pair of them. Bit of a shove pass from Tiramisu, but got the move done. And Benza also maybe trying to follow suit as well. But the QRT driver just going to hold fire for now. Sit behind Foxy Red for the time being. Sieb and Ecos Dark as well. Very close with the back of Haranwag as well for League of Europe. Of course for your team as well, Jess. Yeah, he is just doing a very nice job of just sort of holding up these 2 guys as well. T1K Zach for Humble Squad. Again, I saw the Humble Squad saying earlier on that they are always so humble. However,
they want to take it seriously, this event.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like we may see that humbleness drop ever so slightly. Maybe in the later stages. Maybe for now, they're just going to chill. Of course, it's charity event at the end of the day, so they're all just going to chill.
Ooh,
and there's a little free-wide situation going on.
That was very close between Benza, Foxy Red, and Turismo at the moment. A battle for P10 on the road, which could make a difference towards the end of this race, as we could have the switch back from Benza as well. Benza has been racing since round 1, by the way. I don't think he's racing in the 3rd one. I'll need to double check. I can't remember. I can't remember if he is or not. But if he is, fair play. Yellow flag. That is for one of the McLarens, which is not Benza because we're riding on board with him. It's Welsh Benjamin who's being lapped, unfortunately, but he's still going for Esports Wales at the moment, as we got Foxy Red under pressure from Benza, heading towards turn number 1 as well. They almost bang wheels a little bit. We got the battle for P2 as well between Nathan and Daniel. Daniel got past Nathan up into 2nd place. Nathan has dropped back quite a bit from our race leader, but the race win could change quite a bit between the likes of Blizzard, Daniel and Nathan. Could Daniel get that lead back? Is the fresher tyres on that Haas car starting to take full effect because he is absolutely flying at the moment. His tyres are definitely warmed up now. This is what Daniel needs with pretty much 2 laps to go of this race, and anything could happen. There's a lot of battles going throughout the field.
Yeah, definitely look at it. There's going to be a lot of things going on. There's more yellow flags. That is, I believe, Chalkers. He's really not having a good time in this race at all. He's down in 19th position. And Benza and Foxy Red both going at it as well for that P10. Dark and Harrenwag as well going down the main DRS straight. I think Dark manages to get the move done. Benza and Foxy Red still both side by side. And Benza, in fact, going up the inside just before the triple right-hander. Foxy Red will have the outside. Tried to go for a bit of a switchback, but unfortunately not going to work out for him. The QRT driver, I think, is just going to hold up ahead of the Red Bull driver for good old Hasbull as discipled. No, that's not the team name. Just call them for Hasbulla. Why not? Devoted Disciples, that's what I meant. Foxy Red, in fact, actually got the move back done on Benza. I didn't even clock that one. Benza must have just made a huge mistake, and he's not even got in the DRS. So Foxy Red getting the DRS off of that one. The race lead, though, has changed. Blizzard versus Daniel. Daniel got the move done on the DRS straight. Amafi Alda now going to be put on the back foot. However, he will have the DRS on the final lap, but Daniel has got much fresher tyres in comparison to Blizzard just behind him. So we could see Matthew Alda go on a bit of a charge in this final lap. Nathan has really not got that much ERS left to play with in comparison to these top two. So that final lap shoot-down you was asking for, Jess, we're getting this final lap shoot-down. One more corner to go and we start this final lap for the second race of 22 for the 24 hours of F1 22. And it is going to be Daniel that is leading this one, with Blizzard in second and Nathan in third. Unfortunately for Russell, he wasn't able to get close back up to those top three. Montana, as I said, still doing very nicely. We're just keeping up to the back of Russell. And of course, Russell having that, I think he actually has 6 seconds worth of penalties. He's going to be dropping back
yes, he does.
Quite a significant amount. As Chalkers, once again, I don't know what is going on with Chalkers, but unfortunately going around, I think that's going up the hill for him. So yeah, very unfortunate for Chalkers.
Not what I want to see, because illegal I co-own partners with ERT. So yeah, not what I want to see with them down in 19th, but I know they can bounce back, so I'm not losing hope with them yet at the moment. But as Nathan and Blizzard fight for P2 on the road then, as we head past into the up the hill into the DRS straight, Nathan definitely using those warmer tyres to good use, but he's running out of ERS. Blizzard is running out of birds as well. All of this is going to help Daniel cement his lead, but Nathan tries to cut back from the inside. Blizzard stays behind for now, but Blizzard has got to make an audacious move to try and get P2 on the road, but it's going to be easier said than done at the moment. Both of them are running out of birds, so that is not ideal for them at all. But that's just breathed a sigh of relief for the Hamburger guys in P1 right now, as he is about to go into the final few corners.
Yeah, so Daniel done a very valiant effort from race number 2. He held off Blizzard, he held off Nathan, he held off Russell. Daniel takes the win for Team Hamburger for this one. Blizzard in second, Nathan in third. Nathan ran out of fuel at the line and Blizzard ended up jumping him. I think Blizzard was very close to running out of fuel as well, which is why he was so slow going through that, I think, in the first sector. Montana did end up finishing in 4th in the end. Russell in 5th. Brendan 6th. Finn in 7th. With Slash in 8th. Slash must have made some sort of mistake or penalties. He got jumped by penalties. Finn. Stroll looks like he will finish in 9th. With Foxy Red in 10th. Tiramisu in 11th. But Tiramisu will jump up ahead of Foxy Red from the looks of things. So, because of the penalties that are going to be applied. Yeah, there's going to be some interesting things, as I said, with all of the stewards that will be going on. But that was a very good race from the front for those guys. Yeah, Tiramisu, yeah, he does jump up into 10th. I thought he would do. Neon looks like he'll finish in 12th. Benzo looks like he'll finish in 13th.
Neon did get a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be all good.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Harrenwag is actually 13th. Dark 14th. Benzer in 15th. Steve will be 16th. Zach 17th. California will finish in 18th, Chalkers in 19th, and Benjamin rounding out the back for Esports Wales. It's 2 losses in a row for Esports Wales. Unfortunate for those guys, but I suppose that's the way that it all goes as well. So, yeah, yeah, very good race. A lot of bumping for those top 4, but was good racing nonetheless with all of those guys. Any sort of surprise results with all of that?
Well, if it'll let me get the results, I could have a look. But I was surprised to see Daniel up there in P1. I thought Blizzard would have been P1, but great to see him up there winning the race. I like to see Russell up there. That was great to see the likes of Brendan as well. And yeah, some very nice surprises. But I was expecting certain drivers near the back to just be higher, but there's still a long way of this 24 hours still to go. Still some drivers, obviously, that haven't raced yet that could be quicker. So plenty of time for the teams near the bottom to jump up with some of the drivers that they have still remaining, still to race in this 24-hour. But we'll go through the results quickly. Daniel, Blizzard, Nathan Montana, Russell Brendan, Finn/Stroll, Turismo, Intent. Then we got Foxy Red Neon, Harry, Dart, Benza, CM, Zach, California, Chalkers, and Benjamin. All 20 drivers for the second race in a row has scored points. So, woo!
Yeah, second race in a row. That's always good to see. Only one DNF so far, but that was Hooky on the last race where he...
but he was classified.
Yeah, he was still classified, so that's the main thing with that. Right. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Canada is the next one.
You're racing.
I am racing. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to go.
We'll be commentating on each other because I'm racing the one after that.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. So that means we will have to swap very, very shortly. But yeah,
we got Nolan joining me in the commentary box for the next race. So I believe, unless I got it wrong, I think it's Nolan. Let me check.
I believe you are correct. I think it is Nolan that is joining.
He's joining us for the next, I think, 2 or 3 hours. I think.
Yeah, no, he'll be with. He'll be there for 2 hours. He's with Jess for Canada, and then with me for Brazil, and then yeah, as I said, it can be a bit of an interesting one. So, yeah, we will be back whilst we are just getting the lobbies all changed over. I said race number 2 now over books, and we'll be back very shortly for race number 3.
And I think we are live. Let us know you can hear us, everybody. Welcome to the third round of the 24 hours of F1. We are staying in the North America region. We're in Canada today for the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm doing my third hour. You'll be pleased to hear that I'll be gone by the end of this. But joining me in the commentary box for is 2 hours. Well, he's joining me for 1 hour, and then he's joining JCol for the second hour. We have got Nolan. Nolan, how you doing?
I'm doing alright. I'm ready for the worst 1 hour of my life, spending it with you. But after that, we've got JCol, so it should be good. After that.
Yes, indeed.
I've got a harder stint later on. You're not giving me justice. I've got a terrible graveyard shift later on in the night, so I don't know what time that's going to be by the time we actually get round to it. It should be 3, but it's probably going to be about 7 AM in it by the time we get there.
Yes, I'm looking forward for you to commentate on that because I'll probably be up for most of the 24 hours. So we've got our roll cards to go through. So the team that's going to be starting last is Context to Speed Esports, and the team that's going to have 3 seconds deducted from their race time will be Hasbullah's Devoted Disciples. I don't know who has come up with that name, but what a name. So there we go. So Canadian Grand Prix, it was the first iteration for a while, obviously since it got cancelled due to COVID a while back, but it did make an appearance this time. And let's go on board with Crom Backer for the start of this lap as he heads towards turn number 1. Luckily, we got all 20 drivers on the grid, which is great to see. And you're going to be heading towards 5th gear here through 6, 7 as you head towards turn 4 as well. A lot of people can cut corners through there, but he doesn't seem to have too much trouble heading through that chicane. A lot of people can go on front right here as they head towards turn 6 and 7. We've got another DRS zone, a few invalidations already by the looks of things. There's a few people dropping. Obviously, Nova starting at the back of the grid due to his team starting last. Then we've got this infamous turn 8, 9 and 10 hairpin, which catches a few drivers' eye. Caught me out a few times when I was doing it back in 2020, I believe. That was when I was racing in the 24-hour event for the first time. down this DRS straight. We've got him in P7 at the moment. We've got Nikosos in the other hat on pole at the moment. I wonder if that's going to change very soon as he heads towards the final corner. Kisses the wall of champions. Did not hit it though, luckily. And what time is he going to set? He's going to set 1:10.5. But the fastest is QBR Campbell for QBR with a 1:09.840. So, any surprises there?
Nah, he's a little sweat. I've actually heard that Campbell's been practicing Canada since last week, non-stop, 8 hours a day for this race, so it doesn't surprise me at all. He watches YouTube videos on how to get better, so it's just sweaty.
Yeah, good. I think QBR have done very well in general in this 24 hours so far. They're definitely going to be, I think, right at the top once we get the standings sorted at some point. But we'll run through your order then for the third race of the 24-hour. Campbell from Nikosos, from Will Lewis, AJ, Lewis, Krombacher. There's a lot of Lewises, by the way, in this lobby. We've got Jerry, Cortez, Jerome, and Schleck in 10th. Then we've got Joshua Renz, Terrace are your final ones who set a lap. Then we got JCol, Leroy, Savante, Ivan, Mike, RJ Videos, Harry B, and the one who was meant to be starting last is starting last anyway, so all good. Quite a lot of invalidations. First host to Canadian Grand Prix in 1978. Has also played host to one of my favourite races in Formula 1 where we saw Jenson Button make 6 stops and still managed to win the race, and he overtakes Sebastian Vettel on the final lap. One of the longest races ever. So I think there was, I don't know how many safety cars there was. Luckily, no, we won't have any safety cars in this event, so at least they don't have to contend with that, and no rain either, so all is well. Any drivers do you think that could bring a surprise up?
Well, to be honest, I think this track, everyone's probably going to get a penalty. I've not. If you get through this track without a penalty, that's crazy. Which is interesting. You're saying the person that has 3 seconds taken off their time. It's interesting they've chose this track because that's basically you've got a free penalty, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you can get that taken off you essentially with the 3 seconds. So it's interesting use of it. I wouldn't personally use it here just because of how easy it is to pick up a penalty. But if you don't, if they just play their race to avoid penalties, they could probably get a lot at the end. But
5 red lights.
this is. Oh, there's no formation lap, is
Yeah,
there?
no formation lap. We're about to get underway for the third race of 24 hours of F1. And it is lights out and away we go. Let's see who has the best start. It is Campbell going in towards turn 1. Will Lewis for VSR also had a good start as well with AJ, I think VRT having the best of starts as well. Oh, there's contact in the background.
There's a safety car driving around the track.
Hang on.
The safety car is look at 13th.
Oh my god.
The safety car's in the race.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to see. Oh my god. Hopefully. Oh god. AJ's hit the safety car. Okay. Well, that is something to kick off the... I wonder if we're going to get a lobby restart for this. I don't know. As Jerome
no.
has had a bit of a spin. Oh my god, that was... I'm already starting to lose it. This is my first hour in the commentary box, and we had, by the way, safety car has been turned off, and it still comes out on track.
I was watching turn 3, and there's just this safety car diving up the inside of someone.
Luckily, it's only on the stream. None of the drivers are experiencing it. It's just us on stream.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the safety car took someone out because someone span right next to it, and I thought the safety car just binned them.
Right, anyway, carrying on, Will Lewis got past Campbell into the race lead at the moment. We've got pretty much a mixed bag of people starting on the softs and mediums. Only one driver's on the hards, that's Savante from League of Europe. Everyone else has gone for the softs or the mediums. So Verona had to go into the pits on for a set of the soft compounded tyres. It looks like, yeah, soft compounded tyres for him. Don't know why he's gone for that, but at least his first stop is out of the way. But we are starting to see, I think, people break that DRS window already. Lewis is broken away by 1 second already. We got Nova, who's making progress from his last 2 challenge, already up into 12th place. Could get past Leroy from QRT, heading towards this hairpin, but not quite just yet. the ones who made the biggest losers is NXX with Krombacher down 12, Jerome down 11, and ERT down 12. So those are the three teams that have lost out in this. QBR's lost one, and Nikos Sos in his team, he's lost one as well. The biggest gainer is from the Disciples team, who's got the 3 seconds taken off. Harry B, he's up to 14th, and he's gained 5 places. But AJ's got past the Esports Wales team, up to 15th.
Yeah, and you just speak about AJ picking up a penalty on the first lap. So he's already got a 3-second penalty. I don't know what he did on lap 1, but it's not gone well. He's already on a tightrope for the rest of the race. And I'm looking at this lineup. This is just REL alumni at this point. I'm seeing like 7 people that used to be in our team that all left. We are absolutely washed. And then we've got 3 people that are in our team racing for someone else.
Like JCol. So Harry B trying to go down the inside of Reds, make a bit of contact there, almost lost it through turn A, but Harry B just about gets the job done. So he's up into 13th place now. AJ now go down the side of Renz. AJ's making moves despite the fact that he spun on lap 1. So he's up to 14th position, so he'll be happy with that. Come back at least at the moment. Nova could get past Leroy here once again. JCol's had a good start, by the way. Obviously one of our commentators from earlier on, one of the people who organised this 24-hour. He's up to 10th. He's gained 4 places. So to be honest, he set the bar high for all the other commentators for this 24-hour who is racing in this event. So, yeah, I guess...
set the bar.
Oh, you set the bar.
I'll set the bar for the commentators.
But JCol's technically the first one to race, technically.
I'm just watching everyone drive through a safety car now.
Oh, God. Oh,
this game.
God.
Esports ready.
Oh,
Esports
my
ready,
God.
boys.
The thing is, the drivers are not seeing it. So that their engineers are going to be like, there's a safety car on the track, and they're going to be like, no, there's not. But yeah, so if we do end up laughing because of that, we do apologise. I hope this doesn't happen in any of the other races for the commentators, because otherwise I'm just going to end up dying in a hole, unfortunately. But yeah, the reason why we're doing this, by the way, we're raising money for British Heart Foundation and Brain Tumour Research, 2 very brilliant charities. Let me just check how much we are on in the British Heart Foundation. I will check in a minute, because there is a battle between Terra Racer and Shellac. Terra Racer goes down the inside there before the final corner, and he's up into 8th position. So the Aston Martin drivers doing very well so far, as we're on lap 5 of 35. Will Lewis still leads the way. Jerry has got a 3-second time penalty, so is AJ, so is RJW videos in the Williams. Jerome is holding the wooden spoon at the moment, down in 20th, but don't forget some people have done their first stops, so they got that. Actually, no, it's only him that's done his first stop. Okay, that explains it then. So
that's a smart move, that, actually.
Well, I think he has damage.
I don't know. I think he... If I know Jerome, that's one of those where he'll pit early. If you get clean air at Canada, he can just lap on his own now. He'll probably go for a long time on the softs and just switch. I'm going to guess to the mediums, or maybe to the hards at the end and just do that.
Yeah, that could work, to be honest, because the mediums do tend to last quite a bit around here, as I experienced in my league races. So yeah, fair play. 20 laps it could last for. Yellow flag. Don't know what that's for. Oh no! Well, for Team 4S, setting the bar.
Commentators.
JCol's gonna hate me. Oh God. Right, he has full permission to curse me in the next race, because I just jinxed him so much, saying he set the bar high.
Oh, RJ's in the wall as well.
RJ's in the wall.
That's what we love.
Yeah. So yeah. I said he was going to do well, and now he's retired for his team. So yeah, he has full permission to curse me in the next race. And if I don't do well, it's always fault. Anyway, Krombacher's passed AJ up to 13th position. So, but by the way, Nolan, our first retirement of this 24-hour is the one who organised this 24-hour.
Yeah, he is useless, but he has set the bar for the boys, so...
Well, at least if I finish next race, I'll set the bar. Actually, no,
so
Mike's racing. Mike's racing. So yeah, it's Mike that's setting the bar now.
Mike's a silent assassin, just you watch.
Yeah, he likes
this train
Canada.
in the middle, though. Oh, dear me. Nova just front locked completely there, almost dived into someone. I'm noticing this little middle pack is quite dangerous. Everyone just seems to be locking up into every corner. I think Nova's going to go for a move on Harry. No, he's not. That'd be a very silly place to go for it, but I'm expecting something crazy to happen between these guys soon, and it's probably best idea for someone to pit and try to get an undercut, because you've got 2 pits. You may as well make the most out of it.
Yeah, Schleck has been passed by Harry B into turn 1. Nice move from him. We've got Nova as well in this fight as well, as I'm starting to get a bit of a fog in my throat once again. Apologies if we have to mute suddenly both of us. We've got awful coughs. So I think most of the commentators are not feeling too good as well. So, oh my God, they passed the safety car again. What the...
Safety car's having a stinker. It's been lapped 3 times already. It needs to up its game, but Nova's going to go for the move on the inside. Should be easy enough. I think we're still seeing the softs be the better tyre at the moment, but it will be close to changing over.
Yes, it would.
But we noticed it at the start with Will Lewis. He pulled past Campbell quite quick, didn't he, on those softs? And he's just pulled a bit of a gap, and it's not closing down just yet. I don't know what Will Lewis's pace is like. I'm not really aware of PC side, but I know Campbell's very fast.
He is quick. He does race, I believe. I think it's F2 or F3 in PSGR PC.
That's easy. Easy. I could be an F1 if I wanted to. They've said I'm too fast to be in there, so it's unfair on the rest of the drivers. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I was actually going to be an F1 driver, but they said we're going to give it to this Lewis Hamilton guy, because if you take it, Jack, you'll dominate.
Very true. As Jerry and Tara make their first stops for their respective teams. So Tara Racer on the medium, so is Jerry Rocks as well. Ren's getting a 3-second time penalty so far. So we got...
Middlesbrough 1-0 up against Burnley, boys. That is the news of the day.
Spoiler.
We are 1-0 down.
Right, so...
I'm fuming.
Luckily, I'm not interested in football, so there we go. But lap 8 of 35, Harry B now challenging Leroy. I had to say Harry B's having a good race. I'm scared of saying people having good races, because I've said that to quite a few drivers in this race so far, and they binned it, so... Yeah, I've only had one commentator curse it throughout the whole event, and that was in USA, so... And I've had about 2 or 3 in one event, one race alone. So hopefully this stops now, as Harry B almost tried to get past Leroy to no avail. Lewis is into the pits now on a set of the mediums. Another yellow flag. That is something in the front, I think, but I'm not entirely sure, as Harry gets past Leroy, this time up to 6th place. I believe it's Lens that's got lapped, unfortunately, which is a shame. But yeah, we've got people making their pit stops. Pretty much everyone apart from Will Lewis that started on the softs is onto a set of, I believe, mediums.
Yeah, and it's the right time to do it as well. I'm looking at the time. Lewis has really lost a lot of time to Campbell in the last lap and a half. So the mediums, clearly the better tyre now, and I think Will Lewis will be a bit silly if he doesn't pit this lap, unless he's got some master plan up his sleeve, but he has lost nearly a full second to Campbell in this last lap, so I think he stayed out 1 lap too long, maybe, on those soft tyres. And he's staying out again.
He's staying out!
That's interesting.
Rend is out. Rend is out of the race.
He must have some sort of idea of what he wants to do for a pit strategy.
Rend's retired in the pits. Now, my advice to you, do not retire in the pits. I know it has a temptation if you're a lap down or whatever. A point can make a difference between where you are in the championship. So, if you are a driver that you know that like me, that you're probably going to be slow, just keep going. I know the race may be boring for you, but just keep going, because
it's
now
for charity.
It's for charity at the end of the day. So unless you're like JCol, who binned it in the wall, just don't retire in the pits. I can understand obviously if they crash out, but if they retire in the pits.
If you retire in the pits, then you said that you don't believe in charity, which makes you a horrible person.
Exactly. So there we go.
IRT Rens doesn't believe in charity. Spread the word.
Spread the word. But yeah. Oh my God, the safety car again. So any potential moves that you're seeing right now?
I'm seeing Campbell. He is right up the back, and yet now Willis will come in, and I'm surprised he stayed out that extra lap. Campbell's gained a second and a half on him, and he's just kind of thrown away a chance to overcut him, because now he's going to have to lap. Maybe he was wondering where he's going to come out in a gap, but he's just lost more and more time. I think he's actually going to put himself in a group of cars that he wouldn't have been in if he'd have hit 2 laps earlier. But he's better than me at the video game, so he probably knows more than... He's probably thinking, this guy's never even won a race in D2, so why am I listening to him? But he's coming out, he's in P7, he's got a little bit of clean air, but he's not got... They're not exactly easy drivers to overtake, and it's not a track where you can overtake a lot, so... Let's see what he can do on these mediums, see how fast they heat up. We know in this game, your outlap is quite important because your tyres take a while to warm up, which is why we won't see many people touching the hards on this track, or any track, for that matter.
Well, we did see it, I think, with Montana in the last race in USA. He touched the hard tyres, but to be fair, he's a pad goat, so...
It's Montana, isn't it?
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So if anyone can make the hards work, it's Montana. He could go on any tyre and still be quick, so... Yeah, don't touch the hard unless you got damage. That's my advice. As Lewis, into their hairpin, gets the move done on Krombacher. I'm surprised he got the move done there. Oh, he's got DRS still. He's got DRS. That's very, very interesting and very smart tactical thinking from Lewis there to get the move just, well, so after the detection point. So then you'll still have the DRS. So that was very good from Lewis. Are now up to 9th. Meanwhile, Krombacher is in the pits for a set of another 7 mediums. Well, it's got to be another 7 mediums. Oh, he's got a 5-second penalty. He's still stuck in the pits.
Everyone's going to be doing like a variation of 2 mediums and a soft. That'll be my guess. That'll be the most popular. Obviously, there will be some crazy madman out there which goes for 2 softs or something. But for the most part, I do think we'll see variations of 2 mediums and a soft. Probably for most tracks, actually. It's just the same. The mediums are really good on most tracks this year. And the
especially
softs,
here.
They just overheat. Softs overheat so quick on a lot of tracks.
Apart from Jeddah, I think they last quite a bit around Jeddah, I think. But we'll find out once we get to Jeddah tomorrow, which I believe is the penultimate round of the 24-hour. As Will... now up to 6th place, and he's now chasing down people that have been on those mediums for 11 laps already. And don't forget, this pit lane is a bit short. The loss is a bit shorter compared to a lot of tracks on the calendar. The other one being Zandvoort, 16.5 seconds. Let's see where Will is in relation to Campbell.
He just got an 11.8 and on that last lap. And if I look at Campbell's last time, it was a 13.4.
Oh God! Oh, Will has hit Harry B. I hope that was not desync. I hope that was not desync. No. But yeah, it might have been one of them not giving each other space. But Harry B's now dropped to 8th place. Now Will's going to lose a chunk of time, which means Campbell may breathe a sigh of relief. He'll probably come out ahead of Will Lewis now because he's lost crucial time to potentially be ahead of Will Lewis to be ahead of Campbell, unfortunately. But yeah, surely that will be investigated, but let's just pray it's not desync. But obviously we will find out very, very soon. Let me get the gaps back up to interval. There we go. And I'll get the tyres up as well.
The thing is, as well, with that, I think Campbell has to worry at the moment more about Nico behind him. Nico's been lapping quite fast. He closed down to nearly half a second earlier on. I think he's just dropped off last lap. So I think Campbell's main focus right now should be on the man right behind him because he's not dropping him. They're both on similar ERS. And if Lewis has just got into that incident, they can probably breathe a little bit. But he is still lapping Lewis about 1.5 seconds faster than them currently.
He is. He's still doing quite well. 14.5 seconds to P2 right now as well, with Nikos Sos still yet to box as well. Cortez has just come in. Josh Evans has come in as well. Harry B has just come in too. Bearing in mind this is on reduced damage. If it was on simulation or standard damage, I would imagine Harry would have been out of that race. So I think Harry got away very lightly, too much. I think, but I think he probably would have got minor damage somewhere. That's probably why he's gone into the pits early for his stop. How many viewers we're on at the moment? We're on 78 viewers, by the way. So thank you very much for everyone that's sticking with us at the moment. And we got Campbell and Nicholas who's come in for their first stop, which means everybody has done at least one stop. So we'll see where Will Lewis comes out in relation to Campbell and Nicholas. So Will Lewis gets in towards turn 1. And Will Lewis is leading by only by 5/10 per second. Now 1.5, 1.6, yeah. So Will Lewis leads. Cortex is now ahead of Schleck, and Schleck's coming. So is that his second stop? I think it might be. So there we go. Everyone has done their first stop, and Will Lewis leads from Campbell.
Yeah, that shows just how fast he's been lapping, because even with that little incident, he still managed to come out over a second ahead. He was lapping so fast on those fresh mediums, but I think Campbell now will probably be thinking it's a race for second. Obviously, they've still got their soft stint to go, so you never know what will happen. But Will Lewis does look a little bit too fast for everyone else behind him currently.
Yes, I think too fast, I think, at the moment. But I have to say, well, I don't represent VSR as a driver, but I am VSR as a content creator. So it's for me personally, it's great to see them up top at the moment. Bearing in mind he has a 3-second penalty, and so is Campbell. But it is quite easy to get the time penalties around here anyway. So meanwhile, Harry B has got past Schleck up to 12th place. By the way, the only driver who has made his 2 stops is Jerome in 17th. No one else has done their 2 stop. Jerome could close in on RJ videos very soon as well, so that could be exciting. By the way, we've got a massive DRS train from the likes of Jerry down in 5th place to, oh, that was close from Leroy and AJ there, down to Nova in 11th place. So if you were Cortex and Joshua, you'll be loving life right now because you hardly got any penalties. Joshua, I think, is a little bit further away, so he's technically leading that train. Anyway, we've got 2 DRS trains as well. We'll see what Leroy could do. It's going to be DRS. Leroy, I think, is quicker than Terra Racer, so let's see what he could do with his ERS. He's on 8%. Not using his battery, so I think he's being a bit patient. AJ being a bit patient as well. That's just a danger of these DRS trains. You just can't get past because you're stuck in them for a long time. Ideally, you want to be the one chasing the lead of this train.
Yeah, I think on a track like this, you don't really want to be in a train because it's just, you can kind of get caught up in a rhythm of sitting behind someone, which we're going to see QRT Leroy maybe go for a move yet. Quite simple on Terra Racer before, yeah, he's way ahead of him before we even get to the corner, but we do like to see people go side by side through that chicane. It does cause for a few moments, hopefully towards the end of the race as people get a bit more desperate, but the penalties I've just noticed are really starting to rile in. AJ is already on 9 seconds. We've got a few 5 seconds, so people speeding into the pits.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 3-second penalties are already piling up.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of 3-second time penalties, so I don't want to be the one doing the maths coming into this as well. So
who is it that has the 3-second removal?
Hasbulat's devoted disciples, which is Harry B in the Red Bull.
Oh no. I mean, there's a oh nice. Oh dear. Yeah, it's not looking like the best of uses for that one.
He's already on 5 seconds, so he's gonna get.
He's got a 2-second penalty. I mean, no, he still has to pit again, so he will serve that, won't he?
Yeah. He hasn't done his second stop yet, so but he's gonna lose a chunk of time. Good. No, not looking good at all. I don't. To be honest, with some teams, you don't know why people are chosen the wild cards in certain tracks as well. From round 4, we will start to see the double points being used again. The 3 seconds off wild card won't be used until Singapore in round 8. So.
Well, how did you guys do it? How did your team decide? Because we spun a wheel.
Well, we just looked at the shortest tracks, and we felt like that there was going to be a DRS train around Saudi Arabia, and we know there's going to be a bit of carnage. So we thought we'd pit that, and then double points. One of our teammates is very good around Abu Dhabi, so out of all of us, so we just thought he would be the best person to do the double points because he's probably one of the quickest drivers in our team around that track. Not doing quite as well, unfortunately, in Canada, but to be fair, we just want to have some fun because we literally got... Saronte was one of the drivers who got into our team last minute because we needed more drivers, so Fair play
We
to him
didn't
for still
even go
going.
for pace. We honestly, we just spanned the wheel and just decided
Well,
Luke's getting both.
oh, fair enough, yeah. And for the ret race, I just like Portugal, so and to be fair, did you have any trouble? Oh, as we got battles, I will talk about what I was going to talk about in a minute. As oh, has AJ left the session? Because he's ghosted. No, he's not ghosted. He must have had a bit of a spin. Side by side with
he's been
the
absolutely shut out by Nova there. No room given whatsoever.
No, it doesn't look like it, does it? But AJ has more penalties than Nova, so I was wondering why AJ was fighting it too much, but he wanted to get rid of that disadvantage that he's had so far. So Leroy, I believe, has had a penalty. Yeah, he's had a penalty so far. So yeah, not good at all by the looks of things so far. Let's go 3-second penalty. These penalties are going big, left, right, and centre. You have a penalty. You have a penalty.
Yeah, currently, ET8, Lewis, Cortez, and Evans are the only people. I mean, I guess Sorrento, but he's kind of out the race, sadly. Are the only people without penalties at the moment. So they've basically got their own little free 3 seconds off wild card that they've cashed in.
Yeah, exactly.
Else
Lewis, Cortez, and Joshua especially were going to gain masses.
I mean,
the safety
depends what the
car's
pits
back.
are like.
The safety car's back.
It depends what the pits are like, because the people ahead do still have a gap to them. It might not actually change too much to the outcome. Maybe for Evans it will, but for the people ahead, I think the front three are kind of in a league of their own, pace-wise, at the moment.
Yeah, I think the one that has the advantage is Lewis, because he's got 3 seconds, Campbell's got 5, but Campbell can remove his 5 second when he goes into the pits, but he's going to lose a bit anyway when he goes in later on. So I literally don't know who's going to do well in that respect anyway. So
AJ's out.
Oh, and that's for ERT. That's for ERT. So Canada's very, very cruel today in terms of DNS, but good news if you're still in this race, because you could gain a massive at the moment. A very weird place to crash out, personally. And I got another question to ask you whilst we watch these battles go on. How did you decide who was going to do the wet race in Portugal?
The person that we hate the most in the group got it. Essentially.
Fair enough.
We did a vote, and we decided who we don't like, and then we put them on it.
Well, at least we didn't have that problem. There was quite a few of us that wanted to do it anyway, so I think we just let Harry just pick who we think he would be best, and yeah, I think he picked me.
And Campbell, just whilst we were talking about that, has picked up another 3 seconds.
Ouch.
And I was going to say it makes it interesting, but before he picked that, he'd have come out after losing 5 seconds. He'd have had to try to find 3 second gap to Nico, but now he's just going to lose 5 seconds to Nico. He's basically needs to rely on Nico to get another penalty, or else I don't know how he's going to be able to get second place back from him.
No, I think he may lose out on P3 if he's not careful, because Lewis could catch up, you never know, but the top 3 of the class they're in anyway. So should be fine. I don't think... No one's on double points, I think, this race. So, which I'm quite surprised with.
Do you think track limits are too strict? I know we got them on strict, but just for Canada, I feel like you get away with a lot more leeway in real life than you do.
Yeah, there's certain tracks on this game that you can get away with having getting away with a few things, and it may be too lenient, but this is definitely too strict. So there's only 4 drivers that haven't picked up penalties, 3 of our front runners. So,
for the people in LOE that remember the old man himself, this is a race that we'd call a Zaldema race, where he'd just kind of chill in 4th or 5th place, and he'd end up getting the win. This is the exact kind of race that Zaldema would end up winning just by sitting behind and winning it on penalties.
When was he last in LOE, by the way?
I think he raced last season. I don't know what's happened to him. I know XL died, and then they kind of just all the old people went with it. And then Mark, for some reason, lingers around
Mark might know.
Mark's a pest at a nursery.
Mark's in the chat. Mark might know. Go on, Mark.
Mark knows where all the oldies are in this community.
Exactly. So yeah, Mark, tell us where he is. If he raced last season or not. Thank you. I've only been in LOE for like 2 or 3 seasons, so I don't know. Oh, AJ's left the session. No, is fine. Quite a few positions gained already, as Lewis is in, and so is Jerry. So I believe that's their 2 stops done. Yes, it is their 2 stops done. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have done their 2 stops. Still a lot of drivers do their 1 stop. By the way, if they don't do their 1 stop, 2 stops, they will get a DQ and 0 points. Everyone's on mediums, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, but there's quite a few on fresh mediums. But there we go. So not long to go until the end of this race. It's either Bryn Mike that's doing the commentators proud by still being in this race. He is down in 70, but at least he's still going, and he's on to 7 mediums. He's done his 2 stop. He's going to be commentating Zandvoort, France, and Britain. So if you want to hear him commentate, check him out at 10:45 tonight, 5 to 1 in the morning, and 2 o'clock in the morning as well. He's doing some of the graveyards shift. Fair play to him. But for him, he's still going at least down in 17th, and hopefully he can still go, because at the moment Esports World is not doing so well. But if he finishes, at least he will go ahead of some teams.
I will say, if we're being completely honest about this race, absolutely Bob all has happened. This has been dreadful. As far as racing goes, this has been absolutely awful, but it's just who can not get penalties. But the people that don't have penalties aren't close enough to capitalise on not having a penalty, so we'll see what the pit stops do. I think Lewis is in a really good position actually in 8th. He's done both his stops. He might jump quite a few people with no penalties either, so we'll see where he ends up coming out. I think he might be able to challenge for, I want to say 4th or 5th, but I'm not too certain where he's going to end up coming out. I know RJ's had a stinker for CSL. We won't talk about this race for him. He'll move on to another week, but don't let this distract you from the first DNF of the 24-hour event
JCol.
being Ariel JCol. And we will remind him whenever we can.
Can you remind him when you were in the box with him?
Oh, yes.
So yeah, Howie B, 3-second time penalty. Oh. So how many penalties are you on now with the 3-second time penalty removal? None. Because he's got to serve that 5 second.
With the removal, he'll be fine.
No, he's got to serve that 5 seconds, as long as he doesn't get a 3 second.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Leroy on 12 ahead of him, so there's a chance.
There is a chance at the moment as well. 11 laps to go, by the way, of this Canadian Grand Prix. Yeah, the first 2 races, there's been a lot of action, but this race, what's going on? What's going on? Like,
well, it's Monaco in Canada, isn't it? Essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I think I was debating on whether to watch Monaco later or have a nap in between races, but I think after seeing this race, it's made the decision for me. I may just have a nap at Monaco.
Sleep is for the weak, Jess. We do not sleep during the 24-hour event.
I've been up since 8. So
listen, get your Monster Energy drink, slap it down you, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. That'll be fine. But as Lewis is getting another, I think he's just become the penalty showdown, by the way. I think whilst it's quieting down, a perfect opportunity, by the way, to keep an eye on the donations to see who has just donated recently. No donation since we last spoke. Still on £480 for British Heart Foundation. And £114 for brain tumour research. So altogether, if I do quick math, aka Google, £594 so far raised combined. So thank you very much.
Someone donate £6. Get it to 600. And then you get to keep Ariel Mark.
And by the way, Will has done his final stop. He's on softs. And he's gonna do... I think he's favoured to win this race. But saying that, I might have jinxed him saying that. But, yeah. I hope I haven't jinxed him by saying that. But he's got a 15.2 second gap on Nikolsos. So, yeah, he's going to be ahead of both Campbell and Nikolsos. Because Campbell will need to serve his 5 seconds. Harry B's in for softs. Right, so let's keep an eye on stops. So from 13th to 17th, they've all done their 2 stops. Actually, no, from 10th down to 17th. Shalek still's got to make 1 stop. Leroy's still got to make 1 stop. Joshua as well. Cortez got to make 1 stop. The top 2 got to make 1 stop. Everyone else has done their mandatory 2 stops. So, yeah, there we go. So those are your update. And that's Mike that's got a time penalty. Still 3 drivers yet to pick up ones at the moment. So fair play to those guys. Sawante's not going to gain anything from it though, unfortunately. The other 2 will though. Campbell is in. He's serving his dreadful 5-second penalty, unfortunately. But he's going on softs. Let's watch Will as he comes down the start-finish straight in towards T1. He's going to be way ahead. Way ahead. Where's Campbell? He's still coming out of the pit lane. Nicole Sauce, where is he in relation to Will Lewis? 2.4. Will's got this in the bag as long as he doesn't bottle it.
Yeah, I didn't see Will Lewis throwing this away. Even after that incident he had with Harry early on, he still managed to come out ahead of Campbell. I think Campbell's the one that's kind of thrown away a potential P2. He's fallen behind. He's going to have to pull something out the bag to be able to... I think they're both on 3 seconds, yeah, so he's about 2.5 seconds behind. No, he's 5.8 behind, so it's not looking good. I think we're going to see a very boring train of events now. And the other person I can actually see making an attempt for a move is
Nikosos on the safety car.
Well, the safety car has been overtaken many times today, but it's trying. It is out there. It's racing for charity like everyone else. And the safety car has completed more laps than JCol has. So, it's beaten someone this race. As we're going to see Leroy go for a move on Jerome. Not really sure how useful it'll be. He's on 12 seconds, but he gets the move done nonetheless. Switchback attempt by Jerome. We're getting a little bit of racing. I don't care how useless it is for the race, but Jerome has nothing left in his tank whatsoever. They're both flashing, which is probably the most action Jerome's had in his life. So we take that. He's in P10. This man got signed by FBR, by the way, because he was a good driver, and he's currently sat in P10, losing out to Evans Joshua in a league race. So this man is washed. Send him back to us.
And you're in the same team as him in the 24-hour, right?
Well, no, he's in Relentless. He's racing for my team, and then I'm racing for someone else's team.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, he used to be. I think he used to be in Relentless then, right?
He did. He left us for pastures new, and now he's in P10. So
to be fair, I'm sure Relentless will be very happy about that. So as Jerome now overtakes the safety car.
About 8 races.
As a yellow flag set to 1. Oh no, please don't be Mike. No, it's Mike.
But he's not last.
Spun. Not last, no.
Not yet, but he.
Oh no, he's technically not last because there's 3 DNFs, mate.
Exactly. So Mike is. I mean, Lewis, by the way. I mean, Campbell. Oh, there's too many Lewises. I need to say the name. Campbell just put the fastest lap of the race. He is closing in on Nico slowly, so he's looking good on these softs.
He is looking good on these softs actually as well, but the penalty could affect things quite a bit here as well, as we've got 6 laps to go at the moment. By the way, I don't even know how delayed we are at the moment. The race 4 was meant to start at 4:15. It's now 4:45, so I think we're roughly about 30 to 45 minutes behind schedule at the moment.
I'd like to say this never happens, but every year this happens.
Yeah, we always have a delay, to be fair, but we always need to find a way to not get a delay, if that makes sense.
We'll just skip Monaco. That's the only fair way.
Yeah, exactly. Monza's quite a short track anyway, so it could be picked up anyway. Another yellow flag. That is Mike again, unfortunately. So he's now last out of the finishes so far, but he's still going to technically not last. We got a battle looming between Leroy and Joshua. Joshua closed the door on him in the final corner. Leroy has come across a lot of fans in the chat. Meanwhile, both of the Alpha Towers are fighting there for P5 and 6. Court is up to 5th place. Let's watch Leroy and Joshua going side by side. Finally, we're getting some proper races for the top 10 at least. Leroy almost had Joshua there, but Joshua again is playing the Ministry of Defence and is keeping his P8 at the moment. Leroy not very happy at all, want to get past ASAP. So, yeah, I have to say, Leroy doing a brilliant job to do all he can to try and get past. So that, but those two are absolutely fighting tooth to nail at the moment. Meanwhile, Harry B is fighting with Jerome at the moment towards turn 8. Harry B tries to give the space, but let's go on board with Jerome at the moment. This is all kicking off here in the final few laps of the race. Why did this not happen at the in the middle half of the race?
Yeah, I can understand why Leroy was desperate to get past. I mean, he's clearly going to pull those 12 seconds out his arse in the last 3 laps. So I can see why he believes he has the speed to pull 12 seconds on Joshua. As Jerome, I thought he'd actually be closer to Harry coming into the chicane, but he's going to sit back, maybe go for a late move on the last couple of laps. But the issue is, with all these fights at the moment, everyone's got penalties to the point where the overtakes don't actually matter, so we're just getting it just for entertainment at the moment. Yeah,
I think due to the amount of penalties as well. I'll keep an eye on it. I think Terra Race is the last driver to make his 2 stop. We thought he was going to forget then, but he didn't. So we'll see if Kronbacher can overtake Terra Racer at the moment. The Canada race was very, very interesting last season, so I don't get why it was not interesting this season, but oh well. As Terra Racer comes out, I think he's going to be ahead anyway of his rivals, but has a few drivers already lapped anyway. Nope, he's not. Saronte is ahead of Terra Racer, but Terra Racer is on soft, so we'll see if he can catch Saronte for P15. He's got penalties though. So
Evans Joshua is actually on the hunt for maybe P6. If he can get within 3 seconds of Jerry, which he is lapping quite well at the moment, he needs to find just over 1.5 seconds in these next 2 laps, and he'll actually be able to take P6 from Jerry. Is it Zocht?
I don't know. I just call him Jerry.
Jerry Zocht 11. So that's the only thing that I can see at the moment that could actually have like a race, like affect the race a little bit. So we'll see whether he can pull this. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know what could happen here in Canada, the lovely track that it is at the moment. And Leroy almost gotten over there. He almost lost it there coming through the exit of turn 8, so he must be struggling a little bit on traction at the moment. I'm just trying to see if we had any more donations so far. We had none for brain tumour research. I'm trying to see if we have any for the other one, but meanwhile we've got a battle looming between Leroy and Nova. Leroy's got no battery at the moment, so that's unfortunate right now, as we're on the penultimate lap of the Canadian Grand Prix so far, with Will Lewis for BSR still leading. Nicostos doing well in second. They're going to score some decent points as well. I do believe, if my math is correct, QBR will still be on top, because QBR have been in the top 3 pretty much in every race so far, so I'm almost certain they'll be top, but I might be wrong, because obviously Humble Squad not doing as well this race, in the last race, sorry, but it's picking up in this race, hopefully, even though they're scoring a decent amount of points. I don't know. But yeah, it's Terra Racer eventually gets past Saronte. I think it was a question of when rather than if, to be honest, because he was on the soft tyres. How many second penalties is he on? He's on 3. So as long as he could get it to 3 seconds of the gap, then he should finish ahead of Saronte.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1 lap to do it, so he's got a big ask to do, but He might be able to manage it.
Yeah, I
What
think.
else have we got?
We've got
Nothing.
Will Lewis is just about to. Well, he's in the middle of the last sector. He's about to finish the race. As we got Nova. No, not quite. Not being able to make the move. Just that. Let's just say Jerome has been on those mediums for 23 laps.
I knew he was going to take him to the end, you know.
Has he got no? I thought he had a puncher for a minute, but it's just the graphics being
we're on
weird.
we're on reduced damage, are we?
We are on reduced damage, yeah.
Can you get punctures on reduced?
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
No. Anyway, Will Lewis heading towards the final corner now to finish off. What a great race for himself and VSR. He wins in Canada, and we got Nikossos in second, Campbell in third. Lewis has had a spin, and that allows Cortez to overtake him. Really, he was starting
what a
last.
time to bottle it.
Nova was starting last. Okay, so because Cortez started last earlier. Meanwhile,
Wait,
we've got
wait.
Lewis trying to get. No, he's not going to get past. So we've got Cortez fourth. Jerry will come across the line fifth. And we got Lewis, Joshua in seventh, Nova eighth, but he will drop down a little bit. But after starting last, he gained 12 positions, so fair play. Leroy ninth, Harry B will be ninth, but I don't know what the gap will be after his 3-second reduction. Safety cars made an appearance once again.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I just call out Nino Romanello in the chat? Just called that Lewis bottle 3 laps ago.
He did.
He literally said he's waiting for the Lewis Curtis bottle, and then on the last lap at the hairpin, Lewis has bottled it.
Right, I think Lewis is going to blame you, Nino, I think, after that.
Nino, because of that, you now have to donate £100.
Pal.
That's how it works.
Harry B gets driver of the day, by the way.
How?
I don't know how.
I think, well, my driver of the day, if I have to give it to someone, it's just, well, it's boring, isn't it? It's going to be Will Lewis. He just dominated the race from the start, really.
Didn't get the fastest lap, though. He lost out by 4 attempts. Campbell got fastest lap, but
Yeah, we don't give
Cortez,
it
by the
Campbell.
way, 8th to 4th. No penalties. I think the only one of the front guys did not get a penalty, so fair play to them.
And
So
he was in last minute as well. I think
he was in the
race.
last minute as well because he wasn't meant to race, yeah. So we've got Lewis from Nikossos, Campbell, Cortez, Lewis, Jerry, Joshua, Nova. What was it going to do with Harry? 46, 45, 40. No, it's not going to make a difference. So Harry will still be in 9th. Leroy 10th. Jerome 11th. Schleck 12th. Krombacher 13th. RJ Videos 14th. Swante 15th. Terrace is your luck. And Ivan might. Did Ivan might finish? Yeah, he did. I think. Go on. I think he finished. Yeah, he did finish. Okay.
He drove around the track. That's what matters.
Yeah,
He
but he
tried his
still
best.
finished. He still finished. Ivan might finish. But your timers are AJ from ERT, IRT, Renz from IRT, and JCol for Team 4S. So, yeah, they get the luxury of being the first 3 retirements at the 24 hours. So, but at least their teams can still keep going. It's not like other endurance events where they're out of the event for good. They're still in the event. So, yeah. So, we are going to take a short break whilst we switch the lobbies around.
Break?
Yeah,
5 to 45 working days. We'll be back.
Yeah, so you'll still have Nolan in the commentary box, but you'll have JCol in the commentary box once again. I think he'll do a lot better in the commentary box than he did in the race earlier. Yeah, so hopefully we won't be that long before we get going again. I'll be racing for the first time. I'm probably going to bottle it, but we'll
I'm
see.
going to jinx you.
Well, JCol can jinx me because I jinxed him. So, but you're not jinxing me. Otherwise, I'll jinx you later on in China.
Impossible.
So yeah. Anyway, I won't babble on too much because we got races to get on with. So thank you for watching this stint, and we will see you very shortly for the 4th race in the 24 hours, the Brazilian Grand Prix. And I'll hand it over to JCol for some lovely chill music whilst we wait for the lobby to start. So Yep, see you soon.